Hello, everyone. Hello, Crazy Kid. How you doing, man? Uh, just trying to get this set up. Give me a moment. Trying to get this set up. Give me a moment. Trying to get this set up. Give me a moment. What's going on here? Oh, not that one. We'll get it done. Some days I just don't have the luck of the Irish. Hey, Larice, how you doing? Hey, Jerry. All right. Anybody wants to come home? Hello, Mac Daddy. How you doing? Guys, if you can't hear me, let me know. I think my mic's on, but I'm not positive, so I believe it is. Uh, Everything keeps showing up. Hey, Crazy Kid, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Feeling a little bit better.
All right. Hey, Mac Daddy.
Hey Larry, how you doing? Leonard?
Not
Holy
bad,
shit,
not
I can
bad.
see his chin.
I done shaved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you look a whole lot different, buddy.
he looks younger.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Had to get rid of my freak flag.
He actually looks healthier.
Oh God, thank God. Actually, I am doing a little better. I've been dealing with lymphedema. My legs have been really messed up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry
But
to hear that, but glad to
I'm
hear that you're
going.
doing better.
I'm going all the time, and they wrap them up in these compression wraps, and I stand them for as long as I can, and they're doing it twice a week, and it's changing them. It's working. They know what they're doing.
Hey,
They,
we got bands here. Hey guys, how's
Hey,
everybody
hey,
doing?
Dan, how you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Hey,
Double
we
Dan
got
the
Leonard
Donut
here.
Man.
Leonard's here.
Hey, Leonard.
Hey,
So how's everybody
Leonard from
doing
hey.
Houston,
today?
Texas.
Yep,
Rah, rah, rah. The gang's all here, eh?
yep.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to come up can come up.
Yeah,
Hey,
the title
Crazy,
of
how
the
you doing?
video, would you rather be rich or happy? I've been happy before. I'd like to try rich once.
Not
Yeah,
me.
Yeah,
I'd
me
rather be
too.
happy.
Rich is relative, my friend.
Oh yeah. You can be
well,
rich
there
in
is that.
happiness.
Who's Rich's
You could be
relative?
poor in the United States and rich in the Philippines, and that's what happened to me.
There you go.
On a video uh, commented on from Paul the Old Dog New Tricks. I was talking about, man, I really want to get to the Philippines, ASAP, but right now my budget's not allowing it. Some dude, he's like, well, if you can make it on $100,000, like, you can make it in the Philippines, no problems. And I was like, I never said anything about making $100,000 just because that's the median income here in Canada. Like the average income in Canada is about 100 grand. That doesn't mean I'm making 100 grand. I make so far less than the poverty line. I can't even see the bottom of the poverty line.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, well, I'm living just fine on 70K. I'm like, fuck, that's 7 times more than what I make a year.
When I lived in Delaware, the median income in Delaware is 58,000 American. I didn't make anything near that.
I don't make
Yeah.
that.
Well, to figure the median out, people got to be below that. That's the average.
Right. But because of the Washington, D.C. area and the Beltway and all that south,
Right. Yeah, that jacks up the median.
Yeah.
professionals living on, $1 million homes on the shore of the Chesapeake, they got to make that kind of money just to have their house.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
do they count the politicians?
Justin
The
Trudeau
politicians
just
make
gave
good
himself
money.
a 15% raise. Like, it's like, really, dude? You got millions of people living so far under the poverty level, and you're giving yourself a yearly income raise of about 5 times the amount that these people are being forced to live off of.
Yep.
Well, that's like what they're trying to do here in America.
Maybe.
They're trying to cut the budget on the backs of the poor.
Yeah.
Don't charge the rich a little bit of money. Just, deduct all the social programs from the poor.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Well, that's typical wealth politics.
Yeah. If they would just make the billionaires, people who earn over $500 million, pay 15%, they'd have more than enough money to do everything.
Exactly.
And,
Because
by
most
the way,
people-
I got to interject here. Easy Lee, she says you can live quite comfortably in the Thailand or the Philippines on 70,000.
oh, heck
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
We
can
all
live
know that.
comfortably in the Philippines on 30,000. I got news
You'd be-
for you.
Oh yeah.
You'd be rolling, man, in it. You'd be on the high-rise building on the 30th floor, somewhere around.
You can live quite
Troy
well on 18 to
19,
24,000.
Troy
Not
11.
not
Oh,
great.
yeah,
but
you can have a
live
party
well.
every week in your condo,
Yeah.
on 70K or even on 30K.
And by the way, Robert Simmons is telling everybody hi.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
How are you, buddy?
Would it surprise you if I told you I make it in America on less than 14,000 American?
Oh no, you can do it. I mean, it depends on where you live.
Oh, I live in rural Pennsylvania. I live out in the
I
western,
know, but you own your place, which makes it easier.
and I don't have any debt. No
As I
consumer
said,
debt.
that helps.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
that's
live in-
Yeah.
amazing.
If you don't have any bills, you can get by on a lot less.
I couldn't
paid-
live where I'm at on 14,000.
Easily.
I paid cash for my car.
Yep.
Most people don't do that. I didn't have to have a new car. I bought
They don't buy a 20-year-old car. But
Yeah.
that's
I bought-
okay. That's okay because what you got works.
what I got is in excellent condition. It just
Hey,
my
Robert.
son took it to his program. They loved the car.
Yep.
Has no rust on it, and everything out here is rusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's the difference between a person who knows what will work for them and a person who just wants the best of everything. They want brand new car every other year.
Well,
So,
I'll,
I know a person that's like that.
I'll
and they've
give you
gone
one.
bankrupt twice.
what's a washing machine cost?
Depends on what you get.
Yeah,
I bought a 4-year-old used one last week for $75.
yeah. Whereas a brand new one here in Canada, you're looking at between 600 and 1,300.
Same
That's
thing
about the
here.
same here.
And I don't have to have new. Nothing I buy in life is new. I buy used everything when I can find it.
Yep.
I buy a little bit of electronics used. I bought like cell phones, but computers I buy new.
Now,
Right.
Robert says he's got a 35-year-old truck still running good.
Yeah.
And Jerry said
Yeah.
he'd live in a province, no Metro Manila or no Cebu. Jerry and I would differ on that. I might live right outside, but I would not live what Jerry's calling the province. I want the city entertainment or large town entertainment.
Well, even small town entertainment could be good for you, Larry. It just depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
small town entertainment.
Well,
would
no,
not
he
be good
doesn't.
for
He
me.
doesn't want to go someplace like San Fernando or
No, I want to be close to.
Delegate or
I want to go.
or
I want to be
Delegate.
close to good hospitals, which means you have to be closer to the big cities.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute. Do you have to have multiple hospital or one good hospital? Do you?
One really good one will do you, but you're not going to find that in the small.
You're not going
province.
to find that out, right?
You're not going to find it there.
Dumagetti's got one good hospital.
Yeah, and that's it. Well, maybe two. They got a doctor's. That's a private hospital too.
Yeah.
The whole island has one. If you lived in, Taliban or something, they got a nice hospital.
But Taliban is not it's not the province.
No.
Well, that's true. It's a small city, but it's a small city. It's not a big one.
Well, it's bigger than Dumagetti, I think.
I don't consider Cebu that big myself.
There you go.
Well,
Now Manila is huge, but
Yeah.
Manila has 4 or 5 good hospitals.
yeah. Well, Cebu's got more than
It's
one.
got about 2 or 3.
Dan can tell us for sure, but
What's that? How many people it's got?
You got the Chanwal.
oh, how many good hospitals there are in Cebu?
Oh, a whole bunch. There's got to be at least half a dozen.
Yeah.
No, this is
So you got the
the
Chanwal,
international
the doctor's
airport in Cebu.
hospital, and then a couple others. I'm not sure. I know
Was
of
it
those
one year
2.
near Chiang Mai or something like that?
Chiang Mai or Chiang
Changhua,
Mai.
Changhua Hospital.
Chiang
That's
Mai.
the one that Chris and Cebu walk by all the time.
Yes.
It's up the street from us.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
where Dan's at would be a great area for me. The
Yeah, we also have Cebu's Doctors Hospital that has branches all over the place.
Yeah.
We got Velez General Hospital. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you live there.
Here, Southwestern Hospital, Adventist Hospitals down the
he
street.
spends about half his Mac Daddy. He spends about half his time in Cebu. He's got a
So he does live there half time.
Yeah,
I was teasing when I said that. I know he lives there.
but like I said, where his apartment where he's at.
We got let's see.
You're lucky, Mr. Tim.
Anyway,
I'm working on it.
all you have to do is go out front and hail a taxi, and they'll take you up the street to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the taxi stand is right outside the front door here.
Gotta love that.
That's convenient.
Yeah, I thought everything was perfect until it started to rain the other day, and we got the apartment flooded.
How'd that happen?
They had an earthquake here that jostled everything, and
Got some
apparently
cracks.
a bunch of cracks, and so it's seeping down from the roof down one of the cracks into the apartment. So they moved us, and I like this apartment. Man. The hot water works better, and I mean, when you're paying for rent and stuff, you want all the
Everything to work.
all the niceties that come with it,
Well, yeah, you're paying for it. You should get it.
Hey, by the way, I meant to mention this, guys. I checked out their 1 bedroom. I'm gonna have to do a video on it.
That's
One of the guys.
Yeah.
One of the guys next door has a 1 bedroom, and he invited me over for a shot of Chivas Regal.
Oh yeah.
Oh
good
my
old
God!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do I miss that? That is the tastiest stuff.
I
Anyway. Regal's
had a
good.
shipmate that used to love to drink that stuff.
He's got a 1 bedroom, and it's got everything in it, fully furnished. It's got the dining room table, a nice kitchen. It's really a nice apartment.
But like I said, that one that you got, the basically a studio or 1
Yeah.
bedroom is all I would be looking for.
I mean, that's
You're in a
all you
very good
need.
You're in a very good area because you can walk to a lot of different places.
Yep. Yep. We just walked 10 steps this morning, I'm ashamed to say.
I'm just saying, you
Walk
can
10
walk to the
steps to
mall,
the
you can walk to
McDonald's.
the coffee shop.
Yeah. Is there a good coffee shop close, Dan?
Oh yeah.
We got all kind of coffee shops close by.
All right.
Yeah, they keep the 7-Eleven machine running for me.
But like I
No,
said,
but we
you
got
get the mall.
Jollibee. We got a small little coffee stand, just a couple of steps away, a little portable one, and they do a pretty good job.
Like I said, and you got a good mall not far away that you can walk to.
Yeah,
That's
we got
all I
Ayala
need.
Center.
The hospital's not too far away. If you're needing the hospital, you don't want to walk to it, so you grab a grab or a taxi
Just
or
grab a
something.
taxi, just go out front, and the ambulance would take too long. It would take too long to get there, and then they don't do anything for you. They just sort of go like, all they basically do is give you a ride, then watch you die as you're driving that way.
Yeah.
That's what I've said. So if you need the hospital, you don't walk to it, but everything else you can walk to. The malls all have theaters, and if you want to go to a different mall, you go to one of the.
Doggone it,
They got places where you can catch a free bus from
Jerry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jerry, the Oppo phone, I got one. It doesn't have video stabilization on it. I run the A96. That's the problem with the stupid thing. So anyway, I got the Oppo. It's making my life miserable. I got to go out and get another phone. I got to learn how to use that pocket camera that I have. What's it called again? DJI or DJI Pocket?
Something like that.
Pocket
I
2,
got a
something.
DJI like selfie stick with stabilization on it. It's very nice.
Oh, I bet you it is.
Cost me like $150, and I can like move my thumb back and forth, and it'll pivot right, pivot left. I can hit the button; it'll follow my face, and I don't have to touch it at all. It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it when I was crazy.
Would you get it for $150? I paid $500 for mine.
Jerry, go on Amazon. Jerry, go on Amazon and put in dual SIM cell phones, and they will come up. I had a dual SIM for a while and got rid of it because I needed a new phone and it went bad.
Jerry, I recommend the Google Pixel 6 or the Google Pixel 7.
Yeah, I got a Google phone. I got a couple phones. I'm on a Google right now. I just paid $80 for it. It's a year old. I got it refurbed on eBay.
Yeah, you can get a 6. You can get a 6 all over the place. I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to put my old Sacramento phone number in it, and Google already owns it. They already cloned it. So
what's the deal with these dual SIM cell phones?
I got one.
Most of the ones you get in the US are dual SIM.
They're all dual SIM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of those SIMs you can have one phone company for local calls, and maybe you get a better deal for long distance on a different one. Or a lot of people get, especially that travel, they can one SIM will be their U.S. phone, and the other SIM will be for whatever country they're in.
Right. Yeah.
So
this one has Philippines and Thailand in it.
I have a Filipino phone company. I don't have an American phone company.
Yeah,
and then my American phone number is through Google Voice. So
work in the U.S.
I got Metro PCS, and I had so many problems with the local store. They put me through to Metro PCS, whoever runs their company in Manila. And the lady said, I can see you've been a customer for years and they're still giving you a hard time. I said, yeah.
Hey, Minnie wants to know if the dress she's wearing today is appropriate for a sunny day. Come over here, man. Minnie, the guys will tell you. Come on over here. Come on. No, I know you were just asking me. Ask them. Can you see?
Ah, looks good, man, Minnie.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah,
just asking to Dan, but he doesn't know. No idea.
That looks beautiful for any kind of situation.
I bought you yesterday. That's why I'm sorry.
Looks great.
There you go. There's your answer. There's your answer.
Yep.
Bye.
Anyhow, they put me through to this lady in the Philippines. She gave me 2 unlimited phones through Metro in America, but through the Philippines, I got to just pay it directly online now for $25. That's like the best deal I could ever find.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, you can
unlimited
buy.
everything.
A lot of people carry around. I'm a fan of this idea. They carry around these little $10 Nokia phones,
Yeah.
and they load them up, and you can text all. I mean, it's so cheap to operate. You don't have to. You load it up once, and you could text message your friends, and it's
I
not a
just bought
smartphone. But, what the heck?
I just bought a Nokia C30 for my fiance.
Yeah, it's a C30, I think.
Yeah, that's what I got her.
What did it set you back? $10, $20?
No, she paid close. I want to say close to $80 Filipino.
We got them down here. I don't know if it's a C30. It's a Nokia, the little tiny old gadget that we used to carry around in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 5G C30 Nokia.
Max $20 down here.
Yeah, she
Oh,
paid
yeah.
more for it.
Yeah, that's probably much better phone than what Dan's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Maybe you're talking a smartphone. This is just a
Yeah,
little.
This is a smartphone, and I kind of priced it on Shopee in the Philippines when she was buying it, or through a Nokia dealer, and they had them on sale last month for $80,
Yeah.
which is like whatever that was in Filipino, based on like 50 pesos a dollar. She needed a good
4,000.
phone.
It's around 55 pesos to a dollar, I think. Right?
4,000 pesos.
Yeah.
What is the rate today?
I didn't
The
check
rate-
it today, but it's
The
supposed
rate
to
is
stay around.
declining. You were right. It peaked and now it's on the way down, which means,
That
The
means
money
it can go back
supply
up, though.
is
You
rolling.
don't know.
guys, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, there are no secrets. Everything is planned. If the peso if it's coming down against the dollar, you know that they're going to raise the debt ceiling.
Oh, they have
We
to.
already know
It's
that.
the
They got
game.
to.
It's basically unconstitutional
They-
for them
they
not to
wanna-
pay their bills.
The Republicans are trying to say that they want all this money for everything. They even want to beat up the veterans. So they're
55,
not going to get away
65.
with any of it.
Yep.
You're not
Well,
I
going
think
to
we
raise.
did.
That's to
think
me
we
that's
hit, like-
political suicide.
I think
They're
we
not
hit 56.35 last week, and now it's coming down fast.
They're not going
Yeah.
to beat up Social Security. They're not
Oh,
going to
no.
beat up the food stamp program. They're not going to beat up the veterans. So they should just give up now and surrender. They're trying
I
to look
deserve
like
to
they're
be
big
beat.
and tough.
Well, McCarthy will lose his speakership if he doesn't stick to this. See,
He ain't got
gave-
anything now.
well, he doesn't because he gave up. He gave up too much to get the vote.
He's a paper tiger, not a fire pissing tiger.
Yep.
Well,
Hey.
you also got to remember now, in the Senate, the Republicans are
Jerry,
in the minority.
where should I be staying in Pangasinan, Jerry? Where should I be staying in Pangasinan? We're going to be heading north soon. Jerry! How come Jerry isn't up here showing us the chickens feeding?
Yeah, really.
Let's
I
do the
really
chicken
look forward
dance.
to that.
Yeah. I got a question about the dual SIMs. I know the idea you can have two different phone companies and all that, but when the phone rings, do you know which SIM it's coming in on? Or can
Yeah,
they
it
both
tells
be
you.
working?
It tells you.
Okay, so they can both be working at the same time.
Yeah. Except when you make phone calls, you have to tell it which one you want to use to make a phone
Right.
call. Yeah.
I'm thinking real strongly about doing that.
I'd be so confused. I'd be like, just give me two phones. I'll make a phone call on this
Well-
one here to do these ones. And
Yeah, actually, a lot of people do that. A lot of people carry two phones around. I noticed that.
I used to rubber band them together.
Yeah.
What some people do, especially if they're carrying an American phone, they'll turn the data off, so it can't use your data. Because if you have the data on, I guess it just burns through it. If you're on your American SIM, trying to, but you can get a
Airplane
phone call.
mode.
Huh?
Turn it to airplane mode.
Oh, okay, Jerry.
Yeah. You just turn the data off, saves you money. Now, most people, Tim was saying this in the blog earlier. A lot of people get the dual SIM in the Philippines because in some areas, Globe may work and Smart might not, or vice versa.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've heard
Globe
that
or
in a
Smart,
few other
yeah.
blogs. And
Yeah.
But hey, this thing is only running. What are you paying for a monthly plan now there in the States?
I pay
$30
$25 for 2.
Unlimited
I
everything.
pay about $30
Unlimited
for
everything's
unlimited.
$30.
I pay
$14
$25
a
for
month.
2. Unlimited everything.
Well,
$14 a month, unlimited everything.
You can get Mint Mobile here. That'll give you that for a period of time.
Mint Mobile gives you $30 a month.
They start you out at
Unlimited.
15. Yeah.
No, they don't. I just switched to them
Oh,
last
went up.
week. I mean, they may have
Mint Mobile, that's a good name. That's a good name. You get fresh breath while you're speaking.
There you go.
Here in Canada, I am on Kudo,
Mint,
and I
mint,
pay like $60
peppermint.
a month after tax. And
So there
No,
is-
I get
I was,
unlimited calling coast to coast Canada.
Yeah.
I could be like, at any time too. Like it doesn't matter what day or time it is.
Yeah.
And unlimited texting. And they just upgraded me for from 5 gigs of data a month to 15 gigs of data a month for no charge.
Well, that's nice. I was
I
on
got-
T-Mobile with
I got it.
unlimited, completely unlimited text data, calls, everything, and it was costing me $70 a month for 2 phones.
I'm
Yeah,
paying $60 for 2 phones.
Yeah.
I'm unlimited everything for $25 for 2 phones.
I got to check that out.
You got to call Metro and get them to give you the Filipino deal.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that because I do want to get an overseas package.
And I don't need an overseas package. I could go to the Philippines and
Hey,
tell my
now, I
phone,
love it when you talk dirty,
"I want to
Leonard.
know I'm there."
What was
There's
that?
nothing
Dan?
like the overseas package, brother.
Yep.
Hey, Dean. How you doing, sir? I just saw
Hey,
you.
Ding.
Hi, Ding. Lorice, how are you, ma'am? But yeah, what was
Yeah,
that?
Larice and I will be, Larice Mamini and I will be getting together soon in Manila. That'll be fun.
That'll be nice. Yeah.
We're going to eat pizza.
Nice.
Keto pizza.
Cheeto.
Keto.
Oh, I didn't even see Maggie came in. I didn't see
Yeah.
Maggie. Hello.
Cauliflower crust
Margie,
pizza.
I mean, hello, Margie.
Oh no, thank you.
Margie, how are you, Margie?
There's nothing like a yummy cauliflower crust pizza, brothers.
No, thank you.
That's
Yummy,
almost,
yum.
that's almost
So
as bad as
appetizing.
pineapple on your pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually invented right here in the city that I live in.
Oh, say it ain't so. So say it ain't so.
And I used to actually work on the guy's pool that invented it.
You guys are responsible for that? Oh my God.
Unfortunately, we get blamed for a lot of things, but that's one of the things
Yes, you
I
do.
can say firmly that we did.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
If I want a really good pizza, I want double O flour.
Well, I've already had my one meal for the day anyway, Leonard. So that's that. I went over to
All right.
McDonald's, had some eggs and sausage.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I have
had-
to constantly be eating at McDonald's in order to get any nutritional value, because that
Yeah.
stuff just runs through me like a Japanese bullet train. I pretty much got to eat it on the toilet. That's how fast it goes.
I only had bacon and slices of roast pork today. Nothing else.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
I can't see that, so I'll just stay quiet.
I just had bacon and eggs.
Delicious. There's nothing like the cured pork belly to get your day started.
Yep.
I'm going to be bad on Monday, I think.
Burgers and bacon, sausage
have
and
Spam.
bacon, eggs with a side of sausage and bacon. Everything is better with bacon. BLT with
You
extra
had my
bacon.
full attention when you started talking bacon.
Yep,
I was like,
I've
everything's
never
better
had a
with
pig I
bacon.
didn't like.
Yep.
Yeah,
Basically,
I got some
Perfect
sad
temperature.
news,
basically,
Larry.
that's been my diet for the last half of the week.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys want to see something funny?
Because I'm just eating OMAD, and
There used to be a chocolate hamburger in this box.
the
And
key
you
word
can
is
see by the
used to
size
be.
of the box, it's about the same size as my head.
Oh my goodness gracious! Where do you
It
get
was
one of them?
It was a hollow hamburger. A friend of mine bought it for me for Easter, and I thought it was hilarious.
I love it.
And it was huge. And I was like, "How do you eat something like that? You know, like you got to be all cartoon on it. You know." But I was showing it off to somebody on YouTube, and then I stubbed my toe on a freaking chair back here, and I dropped the box, and it exploded on me.
So you might as well eat it at that point.
Yeah, I was saving it until you got a chip in it or something like that. But as soon as that box hit the floor, it just went inside the package, and I was like, "Well, down the hatch it goes."
Yeah.
And
Well, at least you didn't lose
now
any
you know how to
piece.
eat it, though. Break
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You didn't lose any pieces.
No.
What's the temperature here?
Mind you, there was 2 little sour candies on the front of it to mimic like cheese or mustard or something like that.
Yeah.
And let me tell you
about
something.
the topic, though, guys, I've been wondering about this, right? So tomorrow we're going to be talking about this on my live stream, a little of this, right? But I just don't understand why you have to choose between rich and happiness. Why can't Why can't you simply have both?
Yeah. I guarantee you, if I'm rich, I will be happy.
Yeah, same here.
Well, but you could be poor and happy. You can be. Why do you have to be?
Well,
You can be rich
why
and
do you have to be-
miserable.
You can be poor.
Yeah.
You can be poor and
I guarantee
unhappy.
I wouldn't be miserable.
You could be rich and unhappy. You could be rich and happy. I mean, you have a whole plethora of choices.
Yeah.
The one thing about being rich, to me, this is a drawback about being rich. If everybody knows you're rich, do they like you because of you or because of the money?
That's why you don't tell anybody.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, a lot of rich people know they're rich.
Yeah.
So they got to wonder, does she like me for me or does she like me for my money? Does
Well,
he
if
like
you go
me for
buy
me
a
or does
new-
he like me
Minnie,
for my money?
If you go
Let's
buy
get
a
Minnie
new
to answer that
Mercedes or
question.
Lamborghini every year, people
Well,
know
no,
you're
I
rich.
sometimes
We should get Minnie to answer that question. Did you
Well,
marry
I can
me?
answer that question.
I'm married for money.
I know people,
tell him he didn't have any money.
That's right.
I know people that are beyond
Rich
wealthy.
and-
I know people
Yeah.
that are beyond wealthy, and they don't drive like $250,000 cars because they don't want to
Hey.
stand out.
Yep.
Well,
What's rich to you? I guess is a better way of
Yeah.
framing it.
I totally
It's
agree
like-
with Dan on that.
where I'm from,
Yeah.
where
If
I'm
I-
from, there's a couple of families that everybody knows they're rich. It's heredity.
That is today your mom's birthday. You better call her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but what,
Yeah.
Larry, what's rich?
That's why you keep me
Well, let me
around.
put it to you this way: Grandpa decided he wanted a college named after him, not a building, but a college. He went in and bought the name of the college and didn't blink. Now,
That's pretty rich.
He.
The guys
This is
I
a
know
family-
own
This is a family that owns the Indianapolis 500.
okay,
And a
then they
whole lot
got
of other
money.
businesses, and they're from my hometown.
The people that I know, the one guy's worth like 48 million, and his partner's
that's-
worth like
that's not-
20 million.
That's nothing.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I was saying,
I mean, when you're talking
compared
rich,
to the guy I'm talking about, he could buy and sell him multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
yeah, when you're talking rich like that,
We're
a few million is not really anything.
He won't. You know how many millions it takes to get a building at a college named after you?
A hell of a lot.
It takes
It
a few
takes
million to get the
multiple
building
zeros.
named after you. He went in and had them change the school's name,
Well,
and
all
still
I can
had a
tell
lot
you
more
is
money left than he gave away.
my friend with all the money, I can only tell you that He has enough money to do whatever he wants,
Oh yeah,
whenever he
no.
wants.
I'm not saying he's not rich. I'm just saying, compared to the guy I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Oh
he's a
yeah,
pauper.
well,
You know, this guy back in I want to say it was the 40s, had this beer company, and the workers went on strike. He offered them, I don't know how much of a raise it was. He offered them a raise, and they said, "No, we want this much." He says, "Look, you can either take this raise that I'll give you, or I'm going to close the building down. We'll never open it again, and you'll be out of work." He says, "I don't need the money." They thought he was bluffing. 70 years, 80 years later, 100 years later, it's still not been reopened by the family. They closed it down. They still own the brewing,
The company.
IOB.
the recipe, the brewing recipe, and it's never been made again. Like he said, he didn't need the money. He had so
Hey,
many
Elvis
businesses. LV, how you doing? So, like I said, I mean,
Hello.
we're talking generational rich,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple families like that in my hometown. I don't know why there's that many people in my hometown that are that kind of rich. Now I know why the Hallmans are there. That's where they're not only their grandfather but their great grandfather and stuff like that who made the money. But yeah, and I know I've been to the family's house and for parties and stuff. So like I said, everybody, the grandson, I mean, Tony George, was in high school, and there was a kid in high school that had cancer. And now that was a different school, but their family knew him. So they threw a party to raise money with beer, live bands. Almost everybody there was underage. I was of age. But a lot of the people there were underage. The cops were there, and nobody was hassled. They made sure that everybody behaved themselves, but there wasn't a single person arrested, even though a lot of them were drinking underage. And but yeah, like I said, I've been to the house more than once. I met their grandfather. I was on his. He donated some land for a park. It's not even named after him, but I was there before he donated the land. Had a lot of different little ponds on it. I was in there. We went fishing. Nothing was biting, so we went skinny dipping. Me and a couple of friends, and Grandpa comes walking over with his granddaughters. So we stayed in the water and talked with him, and then they walked. He says, "A good day for a swim," and he walked on, cool as all get out. But we were young teenagers, but more towards the younger side, like 14 or so, 15 years old. And he was cool as all never said, "You guys got to get out of my property." He just stood there and talked with us for a while. Talked about how nice of a day it was to go for a swim. And we told, well, we came fishing, but they weren't biting. And yeah, he said, "I understand this." But him and his granddaughters went walking off.
Well, if the fish ain't biting, it's safe to go skinny dipping. They're not going to nibble on your worm.
Yeah. So, but it was, like I said, been there. I've been to the house a few times. Never in the house. There's always some function going on that I went to. I met Tony George. I met his sisters, who were the granddaughters. At that time, I didn't talk to him. It was about 10 years later. Actually, a little more than that. A friend of mine was teaching him guitar, and I was over at his place, and they came over, and I got to talk with them. But Larry Bird used to come into town all the time.
I can tell you that.
But yeah, I'm going to tell you, the ones that act normal they might buy a nice car, but they're not, like you said, not buying Lamborghinis. Most people will never know they're rich.
Yeah.
But like I said, there are families that can't hide. And then you take the basketball and football players.
Yeah.
People know they're rich.
Yeah.
And they got these people that they've known for years, but now they got other people hitting on them. a lot of them end up being broke because people take advantage of them.
Yep.
And
That happens to a lot of celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Well, they
Prime
can't do
example
it
is MC
themselves.
Hammer.
They have their entourage.
Yeah.
But there's not just their entourage; it's who the entourage is.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
you
kind of
got
class of
people that
people?
are cousins and stuff that until they got that kind of cash, never came around. Now they're around. Well,
Right.
hey, I got this business I'd like you to invest in. It's
Well,
the
that's
same
why
thing
I
with
said-
these lotto winners.
That's
You
why I
win the
said
lotto. You win the
if I
lotto.
win
A
the
lot of
lotto-
lotto winners are broke within 5 years.
Yep.
if I win the lotto, ain't nobody gonna know about it.
I don't care if they know about it. Ain't nobody getting any money.
Well, that's great, but they aren't even gonna know about
I'm gonna have
My-
a favorite
my
word, and
sister-
it only has 2 letters.
it.
If I won the lotto, I might buy one of those Dyson vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
about it.
that's what's up with the millionaires that I know. They might take you to lunch on their business account, but they weren't handing out $100 bills.
No.
No.
But like I said, though, a lot of these kids that came up poor get rich, whether it's through the lotto, playing sports, whatever. They just blow their money.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
just
they
blow it.
have no conception of how to handle it.
There was one guy, I think he was a basketball player, but he could have been a football player. And now one of the extravagant things he spent his money on was he built a house like the Munsters. I think another one did
he
like
have
the back.
spot in under the stairway?
Yeah. And there was somebody else that built a place, something like the Bat Cave, where they had a bat cave underneath their place.
Yeah.
Who was it? One of the basketball players. I forget how many sharks he had in the tank.
I heard about that, but I don't remember either.
I mean, it's like, why? You're throwing money away on things you don't need.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of cool about the
Hey,
houses.
by the way, something. This conversation is reminding me of something I meant to mention. So if it wasn't clear before in my last live stream, Larry, I want to make it clear now that I do things with the expectation of seeking a return.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Didn't your sister tell you not to seek the return?
Yeah, she said not to, and I pointed out. That
I remember
basically-
things.
Yeah, basically, I was pointing out that she's the one that taught me. Even though she would say that to me, I realized that she had an expectation of getting a return. So that's the person that I became, and then I realized it actually works. So I always expect something in return. It always seems to happen. So there you go. So it's positive reinforcement. So I've never changed. I've never thought anything different because every time I put something out there, it always comes back to me. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. Let me give you an example, right? So Mammy and I, we were talking, and she said to me, do you think that you can make 2 videos that can go viral in the same day? And I said, yes.
Challenge accepted.
And then I did it. So there's the proof. Yeah, I mean, the proof is you are what you think. You are what you think.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
it's
the
like this, Dan. I got a better way of putting that. If
Yeah,
you
go
think-
ahead.
If you think you can't do it, you're right, and if you think you can do it, you're still right.
That's good. That's very good. I like it.
And
I like
By
it
the
a lot.
way,
Think about
guys,
success.
Mingay is saying hi.
Hello, man.
Yay!
The thing about success is too many people have the misconception that success is only a monetary number.
Well, you see, that was made up by the rich people to keep you poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah, quick I
right.
am.
I got
The thing
was-
about it is you can have
That
success.
was to keep you enslaved in the land of slaves.
Yeah,
I
but
got
the thing about
something
it is
else
you
to
can have
tell you.
success in a plethora.
See, we
of
think
different ways.
really differently. I think really differently about that. That's Slavelandia talk.
I got something else to tell you about success.
Yeah.
I tried to buy a property for over 5 years, and I only was able to do it last year. And my point is I never stopped trying. I never
Yeah.
gave up.
Yeah, the whole thing is that your dream manifests itself. It materialized. Of course, if
I
you give
found
up on
somebody
it,
to do the deal with it, and a property I could afford. and now I own a piece of God's earth. But let me tell
Right.
you this: so many people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, you're lucky." No, I'm not
Yeah.
lucky. I didn't stop trying.
Yeah.
I put the effort out.
The road to success is paved with failures.
Well,
Hold
that's
on,
true.
dude.
You want to hear one? Take a batting average. If you got a 300 batting average, you're doing goddamn good.
Who
You
told
strike
you
out
that?
more times
Who
than you hit.
told you that?
What?
Yeah, Babe Ruth was
Yeah.
noted for the longest time the best batter. in
Well,
the
okay,
world.
I'll admit something. It makes sense, except that I never think about it. I just would like to tell you that I never think about failure in any context whatsoever. These
Now,
days.
watched
Dan,
all my
Dan,
major-
Failure
Tim
is a
wants to
stepping
know
stone
what
to
do you
success.
And
consider
so
a
I
viral video?
automatically, I have a tendency to automatically reject such things. Any talk of failure, even in a sentence, isn't even part of who I am.
Yeah.
I watched all my neighbors buy video game consoles and color televisions and all kinds of crazy stuff with their stimulus money.
I paid bills.
Yeah.
Right. I watched everybody do that. I bought
A
a
lot
piece
of people paid bills. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, actually, I saved mine. I forgot. I did.
What? What's the
I
matter with you, Leonard?
I was working, so
Well,
I
so
didn't
was
have
I. But
You ain't one of us.
A couple bills.
to.
You ain't one of us, Leonard.
Well, I figured
I
that
had
would
my
give me a
bills
head
covered.
start. That would give me a head start on my savings.
You know how much
By the way,
money here in
Very,
Canada
very
we
few
got?
people actually took that money to buy durable goods. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
Yeah, they wasted it on stuff.
You know how
Yeah.
much?
They didn't wait.
here in Canada,
They
you
didn't
know how much
waste it. Most
stimulus
of it
money
actually
the
went.
government gave us at my level.
To catch
No,
up
they
on their
actually went. Crazy Kid is right, and that they actually went towards paying bills,
yes.
Yeah.
paying down credit card debt and
You
stuff
know how
like
much?
that.
You know how much I got for stimulus for the COVID
How
thing?
much? How much?
$100.
What?
Wow.
We got
For the
thousands
entire
over here in the
time
States.
COVID was going on.
Yeah.
People in my category, we got $100.
Jerry's leaving us. No, Jerry, where are the chickens?
Hey, Jerry, you have a good night, man. We'll see you next time. And if it's not raining, come on Dance Channel tomorrow night and show the chickens.
Yeah.
And since COVID when COVID started, the price of bread was like $1.25 at the dollar store for the large loaf of bread.
Right.
Now, not even 3 years later, you have the same dollar store has a much shorter loaf of bread, and they're charging $2.50 for it.
That's
Oh,
shrinkflation.
That's
And
called
you know how much
inflation.
my income increased in the entire 3 years per month?
I have no idea.
$12.
So you're feeling it.
Yep.
Feeling it. I was feeling it before COVID happened.
I'm feeling it here in America. I got to tell you that.
Yep.
And then the
Things aren't
price of
as easy as they
everything
were.
went up through the roof. Justin Trudeau says, well, with all the price hikes, I need a raise. He gives himself a 15% raise, and we got nothing. And
Well,
before
that-
COVID
like I said,
happened,
politicians
sounds
on
like
both
our
sides of that
before
one.
that COVID happened, we got any kind of an increase before that. So we had to wait 6 years between increases, and all this shit just went through the roof.
Yep.
Like I said, politicians on both sides will give themselves a raise before they give you one.
Oh, absolutely.
They give
That's
themselves
both
a raise
sides.
every year,
Oh yeah. They
Yep.
get a
and
COLA.
they just leave us. Well, screw you guys.
Yeah.
Like I said,
You're
they
talking
get a
about-
COLA,
Yeah.
and they could have done the same things. Hey, this is minimum wage, and there's going to be a COLA every year. So whatever inflation causes to go up, you get that. Like if it's 2%, you get a 2% raise.
They don't do that.
I know. I said they
They're not doing
could.
that.
Well, what they should do.
That would be a good thing to do.
Yeah. What
Well,
they
you know,
should
they fudge the numbers. You know, even if they agree to do that, they fudge the numbers all the time. Like
Yeah.
they try to convince us that the cost of living, the COLA for this year was under 2%. Ha! I'm
Meanwhile,
laughing
it's
my ass
like
off thinking about it.
The best I've heard is 3.1.
Yeah.
But what they should do. What
Do you
they
believe
should
that?
do.
We're running 8-10% inflation, and then they come in and they say, oh, the cost of living, when you take out for energy and housing, was only 1.8% or something. It's so stupid,
Well, the thing about you're talking about colas, if you looked at the Social Security, the cola is based on what a working person.
Urban working person, yeah.
Yeah, they don't look at what the retired person, which is medicine and stuff like that.
Or the people on a disability.
Yeah,
Right.
but like I said, they don't look at that because their cola is different than the cola they look at.
Yeah, there's a
Usually,
CPI,
the disability or the
CPIW and a
retired person
CPIE.
cola is higher,
Yep.
and it reflects because almost every time they give you a raise for your Social Security or your disability, your insurance goes up almost the exact same amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes more.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you know what the ridiculous thing is? Is you got the cost of living sitting right here.
Yep.
Okay, with the poverty line sitting, somewhere close to it. So then all of a sudden you got the people that are making minimum wage. Okay, they're saying, well, we need a raise to get to make things work better. So the government says, okay, we'll give you a raise. They give them like a $1 an hour raise, and the government's got it all figured out just to put them just at
The next tax
the
bracket.
next tax bracket.
Yep.
So this way here, they're paying more tax than they're actually making. So
So
the
yeah, so
government
they're
puts
actually
them at an increase.
they're actually taking home less.
Yeah, and then they actually end up taking home a lot less, like $20 less.
I can't remember how much it was, how many hours of overtime, but I used to know that if you worked, let's say it was 60 hours, I could work and still make the same tax bracket. In other words, 20 hours of overtime. But if I worked at 21 or 22 hours, it kicks me into the next tax bracket,
right,
and I take home less money.
Right. That would depend on how much you're making.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though.
Bracket is.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that is definitely true.
But what I'm getting at is the government gives them this raise, and all of a sudden, all the renters, like the landlords, are saying, "Well, now you got extra money. I'm going to raise your rent."
Well,
so that brings up the rent. The cost of living just went up.
It's not just the landlord, though.
And now, you got these grocery companies like Walmart, No Frills, Sobeys, and all these.
Well, you got anybody that pays minimum wage, their cost is going to go up.
Exactly.
So they're going to pass
Anybody
the
who
cost
has to pay that minimum wage, that cost just went up. So now all of a sudden the groceries go up.
The groceries are going up because the producers, not the farmers, but the
middleman.
The what?
The middleman.
Yeah.
The fertilizer went up. That they've had a lot of crop failure.
The distributors, and they're the ones that are causing the prices to go up.
Yeah.
Because they're making.
See what I'm saying? Like
trillions of dollars.
As everybody's making more money, just a little bit more money, the cost of the food and cost.
That's not what causes that. That is not what causes that.
Fertilizer's tied to energy.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of it's petroleum based. And the thing is, the people, the minimum wage going up $1 or $2 an hour does not make enough difference to raise your cost of food in the grocery store enough to even notice. That's not where it is. It's the big
maybe
guys
in the States. Here in Canada,
it's the same there too. Reasons. It's the same there too, because they all work it the same way. It's the business model. It's like they came up with this BS about supply chain. Well, the supply chain was being bogged down because the freighters were all stuck out in the ocean, running around in circles.
Yeah, but
they weren't letting them. They weren't letting them come in
and get offloaded
and unload. Then they weren't letting the trucks get in there to take the stuff out to the distribution points. That was all manufactured.
Containers doubled and tripled.
Yep.
From what it cost to move it.
Yep.
I was in the Eastern European beer business. Russian beer, Ukrainian beer, Polish beer. And when the containers went nuts, basically raise the price of the beer point to where we buy something else now.
Yeah.
But here in Canada, everything that affects the price of goods and services, everything boils down to how much they have to pay for the wages, how much of an increase that the insurance companies charge them for their insurance.
Now
how
that's
much
a big
the,
thing there.
Buildings, the rent on their buildings cost, how much their landlords are charging them, and how much extra profit they want to make. If
That's
one
the
person
key
gets
right
raised,
there.
everybody wants a fucking raise, and it
Yep.
just shoots the cost of living straight through the moon.
Yeah, but the big thing is
The
you
supply
hit
and
on a
demand,
good point. Insurance is stupid high, rent has gone up, but the biggest thing is the profit margin they want.
Mm-hmm.
They're making everybody's crying about how supply chain and cost of wages and all this stuff, but those same companies are making billion-dollar profit margins. That's profits. That's not costs. That's actual clear profit.
Yep.
So all that BS about the minimum wage and all that stuff is nothing but BS. It does not mathematically calculate.
It
Well, they
will cost
blame it
the
on
cost
the
go up.
wages.
Just they raise their profit more.
They blame it on the wages because they say, well, that's eating out of our cost wages. So
Yeah.
that 1%
That's
that is
just
eating out of our
that's just
cost
convenient.
wages, we're going to raise our prices by 3%.
Yeah,
so we
that's
get a better cost margin.
That's just a convenient way to steal more, to be more
More
corporate
greedy.
greed and price gouge.
Yeah.
That's profiteering and price gouging, both of which are illegal here in the U.S. Probably Canada too.
Yeah, it's supposed to be illegal here in
Yeah.
Canada, but like nobody's doing anything about it. Like,
Yeah, that's the big thing right there. We can't get anybody who's in a position to do anything to do it.
yeah, it's like the lawyers are saying, well, I make enough money to buy the groceries and pay the extra that
That's what the
grocery
politicians say too.
company- So
Yeah.
why should I bother? Well, there's a reason why you should bother, because there's people out there that are getting tossed out of their homes because they can't afford food and shelter.
Right.
Are they losing
that
their
happens
cars
here
because they
too.
can't afford?
And then
to
As soon as you don't have shelter and an address to send the check to, you're not getting any stim, or you're not getting any government money.
Right.
So like that's what's that shuffles everything all around.
That's
Yep.
why I left the Philadelphia region, and that's why I left the Delaware region. Climate change and cost. I came to Western Pennsylvania. I figured I would save $500 a month, and I did.
I could see myself living in Pennsylvania.
I
I
could.
mean,
Not me too. I'm not a hilly person.
well, actually,
There's
I,
more than
well,
enough
I'm not
hills where I
anymore.
live.
I'm not anymore, but I used to be.
I live in the Laurel Highlands. It's very nice here.
Pennsylvania
I want
has really
flat
nothing to
land
offer
and
me.
heat.
Yeah, I've been to Pennsylvania once. I went to
I've been there
Pittsburgh,
more than once.
Pennsylvania, to go to a weekend show with some friends of mine. We watched Jeff Dunham, and this is going back.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, this is going back before he had Ahmed. And it was Jeff Dunham. There was Louise Mandrell. There was Sammy Kershaw, all in the same weekend. It was a good weekend package. And
I live 2 hours east of Pittsburgh.
yeah, but we ended up going, like, during one of the breaks. We went to this Boston Pizza. Oh, man, their pizza, their linguine, everything tasted like shit. Like, it was horrible. And on the way to the Boston Pizza, we had to go down this alleyway. And some dude jumped up from behind a freaking dumpster with a knife, and I wasn't having any of that.
I had friends that used to live in Erie, Pennsylvania. I used to go over there quite a bit. And then my brother-in-law.
Are you rebuilding your house there, Dan?
I'm just trying to figure out where the best place for this camera is.
Oh.
And then
Well, you got
my
quite a bit
oldest
of glare
brother-in-law
coming in
from
your back
Forest
window,
City,
the window behind you.
Pennsylvania.
You might want to close the curtains.
Yeah, I know. And then the light is too dim in order for me to. Let's see. Maybe it's back here. Maybe it's. Nah, I definitely have to move it and look for. Oh, I know how to do it. I know what to do. Yeah, by the time you see me on tomorrow's live, I'll have it all worked out.
Okay.
Sit on the other side with the sun beaming in on you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna switch everything around so I'm facing this wall right here.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah. You
I
might
used
see
to face
the
that wall over there, but
the
I like
plugs,
to open
but-
my curtain up
or
during
you'll
the
see the
daytime and
corner.
look
You'll see me
outside.
in the corner right there.
Yeah.
Something
I
like
got it
that.
over here by my window now.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
have it
that
all-
light
I'll have
is
it all
behind
worked
me,
out.
that's where my desk used to be.
Oh yeah.
The glare is just killing me here. All right.
I moved
It is
over
what it
here.
Yep. Oh, just a quick question. That T1 you had, or M1 you had, was that M1 or a T1? That was a T1, right?
Who are you talking to?
Dan.
T1.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna turn my camera off for a minute. I'm just gonna go do something. I'll be right back.
What's a T1?
That sound card you had. Was that an
The
M1?
cell- The cell card.
No, the audio video sharing device, external sound card.
Oh yeah, that was a V. They call it a V8, something like a V8 Pro or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I've never been able to get the thing to work right. Not on the laptop.
Huh.
So I was running Windows 11, and Windows 11 is just a pain in the ass.
What are you running Windows 11 on?
A laptop,
Well, yeah. What? How new a laptop?
new.
Oh, okay.
It's got plenty of memory, plenty of RAM.
Well,
You know, but-
Windows 11.
the big thing with Windows 11, like on my desktop, I don't
Mhm.
have a good enough video card, and that's
And
something I'm
It
running.
has
a
the
video
gaming.
card.
It's got the gaming video card too.
Okay, well that's why it'll work. Okay, that's why I was wondering how you got it to work. So I might be able to use the same trick, but
I went and
Yeah,
got
think
some
that they were
peppermint.
if
made-
you can afford a new video card, and then
I can buy a new computer for what a video card costs.
Yeah.
that's the problem. Like I bought this one here that I'm working off of right now. I bought it for $500 off Amazon.
Yeah.
Miss Womanizer's here.
Huh?
Miss Womanizer.
Oh yes. Hello, Ms. Womanizer. How are you?
Let me
Yeah, I
see.
didn't
Miss
see that.
Womanizer.
Hello.
I only
Hello.
paid $5.50 for my whole laptop.
Well, you usually get a whole laptop when you buy a laptop.
Yeah, but I mean, I got an HP. Yeah, but I got like all the video cards and everything,
Well, that's all built into them.
and it works just nice.
Yeah, they're gonna send
Yeah.
the Q, the U, and the T later.
If I want sound and all that other crap, I think what I'll do is I'll just buy a separate computer and put everything. I'll just buy a separate sound card and rig the thing up through some other device. I don't know.
Well, that M1 or T1 you had, that's what you use.
T1. What's a T1?
That's probably the device you had. It's an audio mixer.
Yeah, it's an audio mixer. Yeah, I think the thing is that you probably wouldn't have a problem if you bought a high-end audio mixer.
Well, the one you had, if you have the right cables, you should be
Mhm.
able to hook it up.
Maurice is making me jealous. She's drinking coffee, but it's too late in the day for me.
If I
I
had some, I'd be drinking it right now.
might take it down to the IT guys and have them make it. See
Yeah.
if they can make it work. I might take it down to the
I'm
computer.
always drinking coffee.
shop.
I would be if I could make it up like I want to, but I get my pot in the morning, and that's what I'm stuck with.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
I'll
drink
have to
coffee in
do.
the morning
Computer
too.
shopping.
Leonard, what do you think? I just put. I just cover one part of the window up. Do you think that would work?
You can try it.
Yeah.
Get a shear. If you
I
know what I
mean,
mean by a
otherwise-
shear, like a sheer curtain that'll still let light
Yeah,
in. But
something like that. Yeah, something
it
like
would
that.
It might knock the glare out.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
knock
saying.
the
Get a shear.
glare out. Yeah.
Because you do have a lot of glare off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I know. I could see it.
And
Yeah,
Lisa's
last time I
saying
went
coffee is
computer
and donuts,
shopping-
Dan.
Yeah, I know. It's almost coffee and donut time.
Yeah.
But I
Don't
already
you
had
look wrong.
breakfast. I don't think I'm going to do donuts this morning.
Look at
Luis.
him shaking.
I think I'll just have to,
I'm
As
having
much
my
as I want-
peppermints.
as much as I want a Bavarian cream. By the way, so we did find, so they have like a little Dunkin' Donut stand right around the corner, upstairs in the
You're all
JY
fixed up
Mall.
then.
So there is one, up
Yeah.
there.
You're all fixed up then.
Yeah. So it's not a full Dunkin' Donuts store. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear about by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, if I've talked about it or not, but Dunkin' Donuts sent me a message and they said that basically they said, thank you so much for sharing it. They basically have discovered that I am a Dunkin' Donuts fanatic. And they said they're going to send me some stuff. I don't know exactly what that's all about.
Did
They're
you
probably
promote
taking
your
pictures
product
or
for
something.
them?
Well,
they said,
you're an
thank you
unpaid
for promoting our
advertiser.
product and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're-
maybe I'll end
you're
up
now an
becoming
influencer.
some kind of mascot or something,
Yep. Now you are an influencer.
I guess that's kind of what they said. They said that you've become the number one Dunkin' Donuts influencer. I don't even know what that means.
And become the ambassador for Dunkin' Donuts on YouTube.
Yeah, something like that, But
We don't have
you guys
Dunkin'
have
Donuts
I think
here
you're right,
anymore.
Tim.
you guys have Tim Hortons, I think, in Canada, right?
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have Dunkin' Donuts here where I'm at.
You don't?
No, they're Dunkin'.
But
They're
I just
called
wanted to
Dunkin'
mention
now.
that.
They dropped the donut part.
Do they have any Tim
Yeah.
Hortons in the Philippines?
Do they have what?
Do they have Tim Hortons in the Philippines?
I don't know. I saw one. I saw
Somebody
Tim
said
Hortons
up in
in
Manila they got one.
when I was in Bangkok. I saw one.
I think Manila they
And,
have. a
I like Tim
Hortons.
Hortons
I do
Yeah.
too.
very well.
And but I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Dunkin' Donuts just opened up the largest Dunkin' Donuts location in the Philippines in Cavite.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to be when we get to Manila? That's still a couple of hours. Is that north or south of Manila?
That's south.
Cavite?
Cavite south.
I think Cavite is south, right?
Yeah,
So
I think so.
Depends on
I
where,
think it
what
would
part
take a
you're going,
while.
how far
I don't
away.
think I'm going to make it there. I just don't think I'm going to make it there.
What is it? Quezon? That's north.
Kazon.
That's north,
Quezon.
yeah.
Quezon's north and Cavite south. And by the way, Dan,
Tim
Tim
Hortons
says,
is at
thank
the
goodness
SM
you're
Clark.
wearing your
Where's that
hat,
at?
otherwise the glare would be blinding.
Oh, Tim says there's a Tim Hortons in SM Clark.
There is. Okay.
So
I'm
you
waiting
make
for
it
that.
to-
I'm waiting for that Denny's to open up, but apparently it's delayed. So, but here in Cebu we have the Denny's down there at Galleria Mall. So if I get itchy for having an American Grand Slam, all I have to do is head over there.
There
I
you go.
can't even eat Denny's. Ick.
Boy.
I like Denny's.
I hate their pancakes.
Well, you know what?
What?
It's hard
I
to
like
find
the French
pancakes
toast.
here.
Yeah.
It's hard to find American pancakes here, and so you got to go to Denny's. You have no choice; it's the only option.
Yep.
I make my own.
Is there an IHOP?
There's a place close to an IHOP. It's called the American Pancake House or something like that,
Okay.
and that comes close to making a pancake the way that I grew up eating them. But Denny's is the go-to for me.
Yeah.
I make my own.
Now, Dan, Tim says that Tim Hortons is about 4 kilometers from his house.
All right.
Well, let's put it this way here. If I ever make it to the Philippines, I'm coming to visit you, Tim.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna be heading my way to make a Timmy's run. Big
Yep.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
But,
making.
they have this other donut shop that I'm intrigued by.
What is it?
Luis probably knows the name of it. It's called JC Donuts. Oh no! Wait a minute. They said I can only talk about Dunkin' Donuts. Oh,
Ah,
I
you
got-
blew that.
Don't want
they
to
said if
screw
I
up
want to
the
get
sponsorship.
paid,
You don't
If I want to
mix
get
up your
paid, I can
sponsorship.
only talk about Dunkin'
Don't wanna
Donuts. I
mix
can
up
only
your
talk about
sponsorship.
Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, Larice prefers Krispy Kreme.
I know it irritates me just a little bit there, Larice.
What is it, Tim Hortons?
Hey,
Anyhow,
Charmaine, how you
donut place?
doing?
Yeah, it's donuts,
Charmaine is
coffee,
here.
all
They have
kinds
breakfast.
of like
They have breakfast too.
like there's like a little bit of a deli in there, like not where you can take home like sandwich meats, but they'll make they have all kinds of different sandwiches and wraps and soups, and
Do they have
they kind of branched
gasoline
out
too?
into a deli restaurant
Yeah,
kind of
what?
thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cafe sort of thing.
Can you buy gas there for your car?
No.
Not
no.
yet, not yet, but I think they are working on it.
Oh yeah. None of
We
I've ever
had-
seen anyway.
We have Sheets here in the Western Pennsylvania area, and Eastern Pennsylvania. They have a company called Wawa. Wawa, you can buy
Wawa?
gas, cigarettes.
Wawa.
Well, Wawa means Canadian goose. It's what the Indians call it.
Wawa.
And the Wawas have all the, breakfast food, snack food, sandwiches, fresh cut fruit, anything you want on the run.
No, we have.
Yeah, you know what?
We have
Tim
stripes
was saying the Tim Hortons there where he's at, they don't have any sandwiches, but I noticed the one in Bangkok does, the one on Sukhumvit and
here. No, we
I
used to
can't
stop and
remember
get breakfast.
Soy
there.
4. Not a Plaza 4. They have sandwiches and things in there.
No,
Well,
I don't
But
know.
you know what irritated me about that Tim Hortons though? I don't know if I mentioned it. It's on the second floor of the mall. It's a little mall. It's above McDonald's on the second floor, and I didn't like having to climb them stairs.
I don't blame you. I'm not.
Oh, that's a deal
big fan
breaker
of
for
stairs
me
either.
right there.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You see,
Yeah,
you had to climb
yeah,
the stairs up there.
that would
No
definitely
good.
be.
I've got
They
all
didn't
kinds
have
of short
elevators
injuries
or
in my
a,
knees.
Escalator?
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember. No, I don't know if they did. Maybe I had to walk another block to get to the escalator. But the problem is that I don't see that Tim Hortons as being very successful, because people have to hike to
It's all about
get to the
location.
second floor. Yeah, it's at Sukhumvit Road and Nana Plaza, Soy 4.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts dropped the donut part here in this end of America because
Yeah, they did in
what they
Asia.
sell anymore is sandwiches.
Yeah, Dunkin', they had to drop the donut part because they finally realized that the money wasn't in the donuts; it's in the beverages. It's in the coffee.
Well, the original Dunkin' Donut had a handle on it.
Yeah, and you know what? They're coming back. I don't know if you know it or not, but they're coming out with it again. They're going to make it special edition. Yeah, the cake donut with a handle on it for dipping.
They don't even make the donuts at our locations. They're all shipped
I
in.
know. They do it all in a factory and they deliver it. Same as here in the Philippines. That is outrageous. I used to bake them. I used to make them myself.
Time to make
Well,
the
Tim Hortons
donuts.
still makes theirs. That's the last time I was in there.
Yep.
Huh? I mean, I can't imagine it, but the donuts they're different when they're not handmade. But
Well,
I mean,
the
it's very
supermarkets make a
very
frozen
labor
donut.
intense.
They
Hey,
make
Larry,
a
I'm gonna
frozen
bounce
donut called a
here.
thermal
I gotta get going.
All right, crazy
All
kid.
right.
You have a
Crazy,
good
how
one.
are
man.
Crazy
you?
I'm back
Kid
anytime.
49,
Take it easy.
949.
I'm on every Saturday night. Dan's Friday night, Sunday night, and
Monday,
Monday.
Sunday night. Yeah,
Monday
Sunday
for you, Sunday for us.
yeah.
Saturday for you, Friday for us.
Oh, I'm
and
so confused.
Wednesday and Tuesday for him, and Tuesday night for us.
Yeah, and so we're having Motivational Monday, except it'll be Motivational Sunday for you. And that's when I get to talk about all the crap that is on the internet that people share on Facebook that will ruin your life.
There's a lot of that.
Hey,
Well,
There's a lot of it. Hey, but Leonard, I want to compliment you. So I just want to take a moment to compliment you by saying that you don't play that game, homie, on your Facebook. You know the stuff you share?
Yeah.
I like the whole sharing of the motorcycle car thing. It's very positive.
Yeah. Well, I've got
Yeah,
friends that I went to high school with and stuff that are into
Man.
motorcycles and cars.
I
Yeah.
love the Nova. I love the restored Nova.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a few of those.
And
Robert
who
Simmons
are
used
you
to have
calling
one.
Ringo?
Ed Denoy.
Yeah.
Ed is in the house. Ed
Yeah,
Denoy.
hey, Ed Denoy. Who's
I had a
Ringo?
Chevy too, Dan.
I wonder if it's called him Crazy Kid Ringo.
I don't know. He might have been.
I had a 64 Chevy too. That's a 4Runner of the Nova.
I had a 68 Chevelle Super Sport.
They're nice.
Three-speed turbo hydro automatic on the floor with black leather bucket seats. And it was convertible, yellow body, black top.
Nice.
Had that when I was 21 out in San Diego, California. Hello, Beth. How you doing?
My mom had
Hey,
a
Beth.
68 Camaro RS in Phantom Green with the duck-away headlight.
What year was the first Camaro? What year did it come out? 67?
Yeah, 67.
Something like
67,
that.
yeah.
I had a 72 Gran Torino Sport. That was a 1-year front end. Had
You
a
know,
small
I like
overboard.
that car. I don't know why.
I had a 67 442.
They were nice.
Yep. That's the closest to a real muscle car I ever had.
That
My
was a
friend had
scary
that
car.
with
The
some
442 was scary.
I had a 72 Buick Skylark too. That was a muscle car.
Now,
Kinda.
Ed
Hey, do
Denoy,
you guys-
that was
do you
Crazy
guys
Kid.
remember when
He's
they-
a Canadian.
They had the Duster 3-speed, I think it was, or the 318.
The
Yeah.
Was it a
340 and the
4-speed or was
318.
it a 318 3-speed? What
Yeah,
was that?
Duster was Plymouth's version of the Dodge Dart.
Yeah,
I had a
No,
Dodge
it
Dart.
was different. Yeah,
yeah.
Plymouth Duster.
Yep.
Plymouth Duster.
Yeah,
Those
that
were
I
was
good.
wonder if you
that
can
was
even
a-
find a Plymouth Duster hanging around anymore.
actually I
left-
sent some pictures of a couple.
You'll see a lot of the Road Runners
Yeah. A lot of Road
Yeah.
Runners and Chargers,
and Chargers, right?
GTOs, and
Well, like I said, I had the 68 Chevelle Super Sport. I also had a 68 Chevelle Malibu, and that was a dog.
Oh, the Malibu. That was
It was a
nice
dog.
car.
It was a
If-
dog.
if you had the right setup, the Malibu was pretty
Yeah.
It was a nice looking car, but it had the
I had a
2-speed
69
automatic
Le Mans.
and a 307. From that 396 down to a 307 to
Oh,
a
well, yeah.
2-speed automatic. That 2-speed automatic's what really made it a dog.
Yeah, that 307 didn't help.
No, but the two-speed was the worst part about it. If it had
Yep.
been a
The
3-speed, it would've been
anti-JLB
better.
is here. The
Hey,
anti-JLB is here.
Hello,
And-
JLB.
Yeah, where's every man repeats a story, repeats a story, repeats a story.
He doesn't come to mind.
Anyway, guys, my time's up. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
No,
I'm
no,
not
you
headed.
get back to work and stay here.
I'm not headed for
Yeah.
the Duncan. I'm going out
And
to
you
see if
gotta
I can
stay
do
here.
another. I'm doing it. I'm putting together that video I was talking about. I have to get to the poor people side of town to take some pictures. I hope they don't get mad at me over there.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'll be careful.
Very careful over there.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
All right, take care,
All
man.
right,
Thanks
Dan.
for coming. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Stay safe.
See you later. If I can figure out how to get out of this street.
That way.
So
Down to 3.
yeah,
Yep.
the original 3.
Yeah.
We were
Yep.
the first 3 in. Naturally, I was first.
Well, of course. We couldn't get in until you were there.
I know. Then it was Ed. Then it was Leonard. Then Dan.
No, I came in when the Canadian guy was here first.
Yeah,
Was Crazy
he
here
was
before
there.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there before me
Well, then
also.
he
and
was
so was
second.
Dan. Yeah, he must have been.
Well, he was second then.
Yeah, Dan was
Then-
here when I
then-
got here too.
Dan was it. So the Crazy Kid, Ed, Dan, then you. All right.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, Monroe, how you doing, man?
Hey, Monroe.
So I got to get my property sold to go to the Philippines. Cross your
Yeah.
fingers for me.
Hey, I wish you good luck, man.
I hope it sells. I hope you get what you want from it.
And I hope things work out like you have them planned.
Well, for that to happen, I really need 15. I can't take 10. I could take 10 and double my money, but I'd rather triple it.
Well, of course.
JLB, the Canadian guy's crazy kid. What is it? 949 or something like that. And he lives probably 6 to 8 hours from me. We met online through another vlogger. No, Ed, it's not. But I'm saying if you had to choose between one or the other, which would you choose? I would choose happiness. Now, remember, just because you're happy doesn't mean you have to be broke. It just means you're not rich.
I don't know. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys everything to go with it.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I said, I prefer the happiness and hopefully come into the money later.
Well, that's why, unfortunately, that's a stumbling block.
Yeah, most people
If
need
they're-
money to be happy. It alleviates a lot of stress.
I don't think you need money. I shouldn't say that. You don't need to be rich. You need money, enough money to cover your bills, so you're
Yes.
not stressed.
to take the
Right.
stress out of your life, right?
So I want enough money not to be stressed, and if I have more, that's fine. But I want to be happy, which means I got to have enough money to really alleviate the stress.
Exactly.
Right now, I'm still stressed a little bit, but I'm still happy because I get to deal with people that I like, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see
That helps.
if you want to talk a race, I can see the finish line.
Yeah.
Or I can see the goalpost, or however you want to say it. Like I said, this month here, within a few days, I will have one bill paid off, and that will alleviate a $385.38 a month, which will alleviate some stress. I will turn around and
Absolutely.
put most of that on another bill. Not all of it, because I want to leave a little extra in my wallet. But I'd say 350 or more of that will go into another bill. That'll leave me about 30 some bucks extra a month, which that helps quite a bit.
Yep.
And then within a few months, maybe 6 or 7 months, I'll have another bill paid off unless I really blow it up for something else. But I should be debt free outside of my car and my living expenses within less than 2 years, if everything goes right. And if it takes a little longer, that's fine. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, because if the goalpost or the finish line moves, that's because I moved it, either because I needed something and didn't have the cash, or I needed something and couldn't wait till I got the cash.
Yeah.
Like I'm going home next month to see my family. I'm going to put some of that on my credit card. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it.
Yep.
Now, a lot of that I will pay cash for, but not all of it. So that's going to add some, but I've already considered that.
Yeah, but if you could do it another way, you'd be better off taking a small personal loan as opposed to putting it on your credit card.
Because that adds another bill, and I don't want another bill.
And the interest is usually way higher on the
especially on a small loan. Now, I could consolidate my loans. I could consolidate my bills. But the amount they want you to pay back, it would take me more than 2 years to pay it off. So why do it? Yeah, the interest is lower, but I'm going to take 4 or 5 years, maybe more, to get it paid off at what they would be willing to loan it to me at. Say, I'm paying just about as much, and just taking a little bit. It's like, because I looked at it, it's like, no, it's not worth it to me. It's just not worth doing it that way. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Let's just pay. We just paid John off. Now we're going to pay Peter off. When we get Peter paid off, we'll pay off Paul.
Yeah, the credit card interest is a killer.
Yeah, that's why I'm paying it off. I'm not making minimum payments on anything except for my bank loans.
Yeah.
those get minimum payment because that's what they're set up to be paid off at that rate.
Right.
But I double and triple some of the credit card payments because if all you
Yeah,
pay
you
is
have to. It'll take you 40 years to pay them.
yeah, at least because I mean I looked at one of my bills and at the bill if you divided it down 2/3 of it's interest, the other third is payment on the premium.
Right.
So if you just pay the minimum, but I double and triple that payment.
Yep.
So I'm putting a whole lot more on the principal. And like I said, yeah, I could get a loan. My credit rating is good enough. I could go in and get a signature loan to pay all that off. And then just have a bank payment, but I don't want it. I think I can pay it off quicker the way I'm looking at it.
Well, that's what you got to look at. If you can do it faster and comfortably the way you're doing it,
Well,
that's the way to stay.
like I said, right now, I can
it does. What Larry's saying doesn't make any sense because of the credit card numbers alone.
you can do it the way you want. I've looked at it and I've done it both ways, and it just makes more sense for me to do it this way.
Well, that's the way you want to do it. But if you went down to paper and actually looked at real actuary numbers,
I've looked
you
at numbers.
would.
I've looked at numbers.
Well,
I've looked at what the bank, well, how much I could borrow, how much they want me to pay back, and how long it would take me. It's going to take me a whole lot longer paying back what they want me to pay them for the amount I need than what I can do it without getting a loan.
because
I've
I know
looked at the numbers.
10,000 at 10% for 5 years is like
I can have it paid off in less than 5
$5 a
years.
month. I know,
Well,
but you
10,000 at
I
10%
don't want a
for 4
5-year
years
payment.
is $258 a month.
right.
I don't want a 5-year
checked
payment.
that. I've checked that out.
Can I talk to you?
What?
Could I get a mic?
What?
Can I order a headset?
Not right now. Eddie, talk to me later. We ain't gonna do it tonight anyhow. I'll fix the one you got.
Yeah, oh, I tried.
Well, I can fix it. Anyhow, I'm sorry, my son interrupted me.
That's all right.
Well, you got to take time for him.
Yeah,
We understand that.
I got to get him a new headset. I got to figure out what I can do. How much do you have, by the way?
On me right now,
Yeah.
$12.
And how much is the headset?
I want to have like $40. I'll pay you at 43.
Talk to me tomorrow.
Can I talk right now?
What?
I'll pay you back when I start billing again.
I can't do that though. I got to inspect the car. Once I get the car inspected, then we can do whatever. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Nah, money is a juggle for me.
Most
Well,
of us.
like I said, I have extra money every month after I pay my bills, but that's left over for in case something comes up I'm not expecting. As
Right.
long as it's not too high, I can do cash.
Yeah, you got to keep a little slush fund.
I do. I have a little slush fund. I have a few hundred, not a few thousand, a few hundred. And like I said, so when I travel back to Terre Haute, that will buy my gas there and back. I'll have money to buy my food while I'm there, but I'm going to stay in a hotel, going home and coming back, and that'll probably go on my credit card.
Yeah.
But now before I go, I'll go get the oil changed and all that. But that's included in my bills when they come up. That's cash. It's taking care of that. That doesn't go on any credit card or anything like that.
That's good.
Same thing with my insurance and all that. That's all cash, comes out of my income. And the only thing going on credit cards right now is stuff that I like. If I buy something from Amazon, that goes on a credit card because they're not.
Yeah.
How do you pay cash?
Well,
I guess I
only
can
your
use my
debit.
bank card, but
Only your
I
bank
use a
card,
credit
yeah.
card.
I use
And
my
I try not to
bank
buy.
card on
I try
Amazon.
not to buy stuff I don't need because I'm trying to get things paid off.
Right.
So there are some things I bought some shirts. You've seen a couple, but I bought a few more that are long sleeve summer shirts. They got like a rating of a 50 for sun protection. Now, some of the shirts are called swim shirts, and those are the long sleeve T-shirts. I got I got 6 of those, and then there's 2 long sleeve dress shirts. They're also that way, but they're dress shirts. And because, like I said, well, if you've seen the one video, you know I got the spots up here from pre-cancer. I get them on my hands all the time. So I'm just trying to take some precaution and keep it from maybe getting on my arms. Right now, it's not on my arms.
Bamboo instead of cotton.
I'm not sure what it's made of, but it's really light material, real cool. And it's
Bamboo is
it could be bamboo. I don't know.
more reflective than cotton. They just they're all starting to do bamboo now for some reason. Well, cotton's got expensive too.
Yeah.
And but these are the dress shirts. They're really nice and comfortable. I'll be wearing one Monday because I'm gonna renew my passport. I got less than 6 months left on it, but I'm not planning on going I'm not planning on going anywhere. So
it took me 2.5 months to get mine back.
well, whatever.
But
takes,
it had expired.
well, mine hasn't. It did the last time when I renewed it. It had been expired almost 5 years. But as long as it's not over 5 years, you can renew it without going through everything again.
Right. Yeah, mine was only about 4 or 5 months, but still.
You should see what it takes to get a birth certificate in the state of Pennsylvania.
I just got a new one from Idaho.
Yeah. But
how long did it take you?
I got my original birth certificate.
I have my original too. They won't accept it anymore.
Got the gold seal on it.
I had my original.
Remember, mine's almost 70 years old.
Yeah.
Well, mine was 50 something.
Until people needed it for other things and didn't get it back.
Thank you, LV. I'm glad you're still here.
I've had to.
And Ed to know it's not Elvis, it's LV. ELVIE, not S.
Well, my birth certificate, I had to order it through a company in Texas to get it in Pennsylvania, and it takes a minimum of 6 months.
I got a I don't know what you call it, but it's basically another birth certificate. It's got the stamp on it. But I got that. I just went through Indiana. That's where it was from.
Well, they won't. Well, I had to go through somebody who's approved to order them in Pennsylvania, and they're in Texas.
Yeah, there are a lot of states are doing that. I had to do something like that myself.
180 days to get a birth certificate.
Yeah, mine was only 3 weeks.
Of course, now that I'm out here in Western PA, I could go to the Hall of Records for Pennsylvania, which is in Pittsburgh, and get it all done in the same day. But I was in Delaware at the time.
Okay, LV. When I type it in, it always wants to bring up Elvis, but I just keep typing, and it'll let me type in LV on my phone. Now, maybe if I didn't use your name as much as I have, it might not do that and do autocorrect, but it doesn't do that to me.
Yeah, autocorrect can be a booger.
Oh, it's a pain in the backside.
On my phone, I have to remember to shut it off half the time.
Well, when I'm talking all the time, it like spells out everything wrong half the time on my phone when I'm texting.
Yeah, I don't use talk to text. I should, because my fine muscle control on my hands isn't that great. But either that or the stylus, because I have a stylus with my phone.
I'm having problems with my ring finger. If I don't crack my ring finger, my hands start like clamping.
My ring finger on my right hand, I won't do what I to show it the most, but if you look real close, you'll see that finger bends. Starts at this knuckle and starts bending towards the towards the thumb, and it hurts like all get out. But it's been that way for years now. I got arthritis in both hands. That's a 3. In other words, I do a claw. I have to do this for a 3, and there you can see how the finger really bends there.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like see this hand.
yeah, you get your little big pointer finger. Looks like it's off.
Well, my
pointer
index
finger.
my index finger curves. They always have out towards the little finger on both hands, but see the little fingers out there crazy.
And the noise trying to make me jealous. He says he's in a steam room.
Man,
Man, steam rooms feel good.
you
when you're
would.
sore.
I know.
I haven't had a good steam in years, actually.
I
It's like I haven't had a good massage in years either. But
I had
if you
one
get a
last
good
year on
massage,
my
it wants to
birthday.
put you to sleep.
I had a good massage on my birthday last year.
Well, the gym I belong to has those massage chairs.
Yeah.
They do a good job, but
Yeah.
you're setting up. I mean, if you lay down and get a real good massage, you want to go to sleep.
They massage my legs twice a week now.
Do they?
Yeah,
Well,
I
like I
got
said,
like,
this chair will do your legs, your back, your shoulders.
I get like a half a dozen student nurses in the room, and
Now you were talking
3 or
about that
4
the
of
other
them
day.
wearing gloves, rubbing me down.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just bragging.
I
Well,
don't know, man. I went off the other day, and they all laughed at me. It wasn't
that's
good.
what you said. Yeah, you told us all
Yep.
about it. But like I said, the gym I belong to. You probably have heard of it. I think it's nationwide or nationwide. I mean, Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if they're nationwide, but they got them here too.
I know they got them in Indiana and here, but for like $25 a month, you unlimited use of the gym. You can go in there and use that one of those. They got a couple those massage chairs. As long as nobody else is in it, you can use it. And if nobody else wants to go in while you're in there, you can stay longer. They put you in for like 10 minutes at a time, and if nobody else wants to do it, they'll give you another 10 minutes and another 10 minutes. Also, with the 25, which is called the Black Card, you can go to any other Planet Fitness anywhere and go in and use all their stuff.
That'd
So
be good.
that's what you're going to have. The basic membership
Basic
is like
one's
10
10
or
a month,
15
isn't it?
bucks a month.
I think it's 10.
I think it's 10. You could be right, but anyway, you don't get the massage chair, and you can't go to the other gyms. You have to go to the one that you join.
Right.
And I was originally going to just do the minimum, but I found out my hometown has a couple of them.
Oh, you might as well get. You might, for that little bit of difference, it'd be worth it to have the
Well,
black
the
card.
chairs. I have the chairs too. I've used the chairs a few times.
Yeah.
You go in there, you start walking because with my weight, I got this big old fat gut, and sometimes my back will start hurting. So I'll go in there and get in the chair, then go back out and do some more walking.
Yeah.
So that helps out a lot.
I was looking at a massage chair online the other day. They wanted $150.
What's that?
I was looking at a massage chair on Facebook Marketplace. They wanted $150 for it.
Yeah. Problem with that is, do you know if it's any good? Might
And
be all
also,
wore out
is it
broke.
big enough? Because there's different size chairs. A friend
Yeah.
of mine's got one, and I don't know if it would fit me.
Well, if I went out to buy it and it didn't work out for me, I wouldn't buy it. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no, a friend of mine's got one, and I'm not sure if it's big enough to fit me. Now it fits her quite well, but she's about half my size,
Yeah.
Actually, and if you want to go weight, she's about a third of my size almost. But yeah, she's a whole lot smaller. And but she bought it for her and her dad, and her dad was half my size. And so, like I said, it worked for them. I'm so big, I'm not so sure it would work for me. But the one at the gym works, and I wouldn't want to buy one for my house I'd probably never want to get out of it. I'd be sitting in it with it going, talking to you guys, going,
Yeah, probably
But,
so.
I mean, what can one say, you know? But yeah, Tim says, Ed, I'm in the steam room in my living room. I don't know how hot it is. And Ed tells Tim, don't burn the house down, Tim. And I'm like most of you guys. If I'm living over there, I'm going to want air conditioning.
It's
One of the ways you
53
save
right
on
now.
one of the ways you save on air conditioning is you go to the mall.
Yeah. Go to the mall.
Go watch
To
a
the
movie.
bar.
No.
Go have coffee.
Go have coffee. A coffee. Now, I may go to a bar once in a while, but it'll be very seldom for me. I would go like, all right, let's say I'm in Cebu and Dan and Mimi's there. If they wanted to go have a beer, I'd go with them. But just to go to the bar by myself, I gave that up a long time ago.
Well, it
I
depends
haven't
on
been.
what you use it for. I use it like a restaurant, really.
I haven't been. I had a bar that was a restaurant, and last time I was there was 5 years ago. And all I did was go. They had great burgers at this place.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, they had great burgers. Now another bar I used to go to, they had Italian food. They had great spaghetti and pretty good sandwiches.
All the stuff you can't eat anymore.
I know, but the people that I knew the owners. Matter of fact, the owners were my landlords at my apartment. Well, they
I
sold
shouldn't
the
have
business.
said it that way, Larry. I should have said we can't eat no more.
Yeah, but I still do eat pasta once in a while, just not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But anyway, they sold the business. They got out of it. And once they sold it, I quit going. And that was 2 blocks from my house.
That kind of sucks.
I'd go over once a week, when I was doing my laundry, go in and get a sandwich and a cup of coffee. I wasn't even drinking beer. I'd go in and have a cup of coffee and a sandwich and talk with the owners because, like I said, they were my landlords.
Yep.
And when my rent was due, well, I'd always pay my rent while I was there doing my laundry.
Yeah.
Here's my rent money. I lived in that apartment. It was in Leroy. I lived there for 15 years. And the last 5 or 7 years, they didn't own the restaurant. So, and the other bars in that area that I could walk to were dives. And I had no interest in going in them.
Right.
I don't care for a dive.
Nope.
I don't care for neighborhood bars.
No, and I hate a bar you have to fight your way to the
In or
bar
out.
to get a beer. Fight your way back out.
Fight your way in or out. But no, I mean, I've been to a lot of dives. I really have. And like I said, a friend of mine played country music, and a couple friends, and they were in a band, so I would go with them a lot. Because it was friends, something to do, and you go have a couple.
Yep.
And this is back when I was still drinking. This is this is over 30 years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
about 30 years ago, actually, about 27 or more. And so I would go with them to the bar. I'd have a couple beers or something, and they would play their music. And I a lot of times drove, so a lot of times I didn't even pay that much for my drinks at all, because sometimes they just get my drinks for me.
Yeah.
But if they didn't, that was fine. I didn't mind. And I was, it was just something to do with a couple friends, and a couple brothers actually, and another guy that I knew pretty well. And so it was a good time. And it was on the weekend, but some of the places they played were some real dives, Mel. Let me tell you.
Yep.
If I wasn't going in there with them, I'd have never gone into these places,
Oh, yeah.
Now, there were some country bars that were real nice bars I really liked.
Yep. Yeah. But
there
there
was
are a lot of country bars that are dives.
Yeah. Most country bars are either really nice or dives, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's more dives than not really nice country bars, if you ask
Yep.
me.
I
At least in
agree.
my hometown. At
Well,
least
I
in my
agree,
hometown.
and I've checked it. Well, you've been around too, but I've checked that out in a lot of different places where I've lived.
Well, now when I was in the Philippines, they were nice bars, as far as the bars in the Philippines go.
Yep.
In San Diego, you had both there too. You had dives where there was one bar. It was nothing but it seemed like rednecks on one side and bikers on the other, and they'd get drunk and then they'd get in a fight. Well,
Yep.
I found that out. I never went in that bar again.
Nope.
But right
I know
across
you.
the street, there was a couple country western bars, really nice bars,
Yeah.
and so I would always go over there. But downtown, there was both. What I don't know if there was any country bars right downtown in San Diego. At least none I went to. There was a beer bar, but I wouldn't call it country because they did. When I say country, I'm talking about bars that really that's about the only kind of music they play. That's the kind of bands they employ when they have bands.
Right.
Philly had none of that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Now
They
we
go
had
country
a
music
bar
as
downtown
well.
called the Gold Brick, and it was a beer wine joint. You know, what they call a two-way license, beer and wine only, no hard liquor.
Yeah, we never had those either in PA.
Well, we have those in Indiana too, but like I said, they're two-way bars, beer and wine only. But anyway, I was in this Gold Brick bar, and I was only 20. I'm in there having a drink, and a friend of mine, he's 21, and the girl comes over, and only because she wanted to card him did she card me. She carded him first. She goes, "Well, I better look at yours too." So I show her my ID, and I started to get up to leave, right? Because I'm only 20. She looks at me. She goes, "What do you want to drink?" So I told her. So we're sitting there, and she comes back over a little bit later. And she goes, "My squad's going around hitting the bars." I said, "I guess we better get out of here then." She goes, "What? You're not 21?" I said, "You know I'm not." She goes, "You coming back later?" I was planning on going back later, but I let him talk me into going down to Tijuana instead. I should have went back. She was good looking.
Sounded like she wanted a date.
Sounded like I might have had some fun that night.
Yep.
Hey, Fazo, how you doing?
My legs being messed up, I don't get out much.
Well, like I said,
Yep.
since I moved down here, I don't go out much. I do plan on doing, I'll tell you here in a minute, a little more getting out here pretty soon. They have, there's a Bruegger's Bagels, if you know what that is. Bruegger Bagels.
No.
Well, in New York and probably Pennsylvania as well, bagels is a good size thing.
Yeah.
And it's a place that sells bagels, and they make sandwiches with bagels, or you can just get bagels and toasted bagels with cream cheese and coffee. I usually just go and get coffee, and they got an outside area where you can sit outside and drink your coffee.
Yeah.
And when I wasn't living down here and my friend was at work, I used to go there all the time. And I've been down here now for over 2 years, and I've not been there once. I've been by there. I've been in the same strip area, but I haven't been there yet. So I plan on doing that either this week or next week, just to do it because I really don't go to the restaurants.
Hey,
very much
Dodger
anymore.
Blue, how are you doing?
Hey, Dodger Blue, how you doing, man?
I can't even get a bagel here in Pennsylvania this end.
You can't get good ones a lot of places.
I could go to like Dunkin' and get one or buy one in the supermarket, but it's not like a hot herbs bagel from Philly, you know?
Yeah, it's not like the real New York bagel.
Yeah. Well, we got I think it's Einstein's bagel.
They're all right, but
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how good they are because I never had it.
They're good.
But
they're good.
They're very good actually.
No, I mean, here almost every grocery store, if not every, not all the main ones, have their own brand of bagels.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but that's not the same. I mean,
no, they're okay, but they're not as good as getting a fresh bagel from someplace that makes them.
Yeah.
Like Bruegger's Bagels or
I want the place with the big water kettle that's like, letting them rise and then boiling them, then baking them.
yeah, but like I said, they're not that good for you, so I probably won't eat too many of those. But
Yeah, I
like I
don't
said,
eat
I'll
salt
get my
peppers
coffee and I'll
anymore.
sit outside. And they got the area that's covered a little bit and chairs out there, so you can just find a shady area and sit and enjoy the weather and watch the people go by. And
It's been too cold to do much of that around here so far.
oh yeah, it has been. But like I said, I haven't done this. I've been down here over 2 years now. I've been living in this apartment. It was 2 years in February.
Last
And I
week we
came
had
down in
ice.
January before that.
Whatever you're drinking in Dodger, I want some.
Alexa, what's the temperature here?
Right now, it's 52 degrees Fahrenheit.
It went down. It's 52 now.
45 degrees.
Well, yeah, this is going to be colder now than it was at noon.
Yeah, it's going
Well,
to
it
get
keeps
colder.
on dropping in. It's going to drop into 45 here tonight.
I don't know what it's supposed to drop in tonight. Now, tomorrow's supposed to be sunny and warmer. Today was rain.
Yeah, we had
And,
rain here also.
So it's
We
supposed to
get the-
rain, stop sometime tonight, overnight, and then it's supposed to get sunny tomorrow. And then all next week is supposed to be decent.
Yeah.
But
Alexa,
what
what's the
we call
temperature?
decent.
Tomorrow,
It's-
expect a high of 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
We'll be 70 here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 71 outside right now.
Well, we got 63. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm a little farther south.
And I'm in the hills.
they're calling for the low 50s for the low, like 53. And
I'm usually because we're in the hills, I'm usually 10 degrees colder.
Yeah.
and they're looking at somewhere around 70 tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we're talking here, 70.
Yeah, they're looking at
Probably 83
81.
today. 81.
81 tomorrow here.
Well, right now it's showing Albany at 52 with 52 showers, precipitation 78%.
Wait a minute, make sure that was Houston. This thing changes sometimes.
It was showing
Yeah.
17, but let's see what it is when I update it. For
Yeah, it's
Celsius.
80 right now.
It's saying 17 Celsius. Going to drop down to 11 Celsius. And it's going to get up to about 24 Celsius tomorrow during the day. It's going to be the high. So
My friend in the Philippines is always telling me how cold it is. I told her the other day, you don't know what cold is.
no,
Yeah.
no. And believe me, I mean, they know what hot is. They know
She
what
told me
humid
it's
is, but
cold
they
and
don't know
windy.
cold. I mean,
And I don't know how they do it. They live over there with no air conditioning.
Yep. And
now,
if they're
Dodger,
lucky,
I
they got a
would take
fan.
85. I actually like the 80s.
Oh, the 80s are
myself.
great.
Dr.
Yeah, but-
Bruce says 70 sounds good. Forecast for 85. He's in California, naturally.
Yeah.
I would
85
take the
ain't
85.
bad.
Yeah, I like 80. I like 70 for a low.
I don't like 120 plus.
Yeah.
Not too many people do.
No. And that's what it was in Phoenix. I had that every year for the 15 years I was there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, not too many people really like that.
No.
I mean, I'm
And-
going to be
and-
honest with you. I would take 120 over 20.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me too.
'Cause-
And the
Now,
thing
when I
about
was
it is,
younger, and I'm talking, teens and early 20s, I'd probably say, no, I'd take the 20s over the 120.
right.
But I think now I would rather have the 120.
Yep.
Uh,
And everybody, when you talk about Phoenix, they say, oh, well, that's a dry heat. they don't know what the hell they're talking about. When it's 120 in Phoenix, they've got 70 to 80% humidity because that's when the monsoons are there.
Yeah, Tim, I
It's
can remember
so
those
hot, it's
days.
pulling the moisture out of anything.
Tim's going. He goes. I've had days with a 40-degree drop in temperature in one day. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
story of my life growing up.
We've had that here all spring.
Yeah. Yeah, when I grew up in North Idaho, it would have a high of like 20 degrees Fahrenheit and go down to 40 below.
Wow, I'm still burning my pellet stove sometimes on the overnights. I never burn my pellet stove this time of year.
Yeah.
I'm usually packing it away.
I've got the heat on. I don't like 50s for sleeping, so the heat's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
turn
don't
it way
have the
down.
heat on.
Like I said, the last few days, this whole week, it's got down in the 50s and sometimes even in the upper 30s a couple days. I was lucky I was off those days, so I didn't have to go into work. But the days I did go into work, like Thursday, it was in the 40s, upper 30s, low 40s when I went in.
Yep.
And this morning was upper 40s, upper 40s, I want to say, when I went in this morning. Friday was in the 40s when I went in. So it's been down there the last few days. But I turned the heat down to like 60. So when I come home, it doesn't take too long to warm it back up. Now, today when I got home, even though it was in the 50s,
Yeah.
the heat, when I turned the heat back up, it didn't kick on for a little while.
Yeah.
It
Tim,
felt cooler because it was damp because of all the rain, but
that 115 every day for 3 weeks, that's just a mild cold snap in the summer in Phoenix.
Wow.
I've seen it over 115 for 3 months.
I wouldn't want to deal with that.
You get used to it.
yeah.
Well, you know this. Did you do any gold hunting when you were in Arizona?
Any what?
Gold. GOLD. Every county of Arizona has gold. And they say you can walk through the desert with a metal detector and find it.
Could be. I never had one.
I have a cousin that owns a bar out in Arizona, and that's his hobby for what he does when he goes hiking. He takes a metal detector with him. He's found some relatively, I would call them big gold nuggets, or, quarter-ounce versions and things.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm just glad I quit smoking. I quit smoking over 24 years ago. It was 24 years ago this past March. I quit in 99, and I smoked for 27 years.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But I quit cold turkey. I tried quitting a few times. It didn't work. I tried the patch.
The only way you can do it's cold turkey.
And I went cold turkey this last time, and it's been 24 years.
My neighbor just died Thursday night he was smoking cigarettes and he had lesions on his lungs. He's like, "Oh, I got lesions on my lungs," and he kept smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then they found a stage 4 skin cancer on his back with stuff leading around to his lymph nodes. And
yeah,
then
once you get through the lymph nodes, it's bad.
Then they found a brain tumor.
Matter of fact, I think you talked about that on Dan's stream.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I don't know whether I mentioned that to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
he's gone.
Oh yeah. Like I said,
Yeah,
I mean,
Tim, I would be too. You make me jealous.
I'm going to tell you, people, South America would be a place I would consider if I went to the Philippines and decided I didn't like it. I would prefer the Philippines. We got somebody coming up. Oh, Retro.
Hey, Retro.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, Retro. How you doing, man?
Hey, Retro.
But anyway, like I said, when I was in the Navy, I served with a lot of Filipinos.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How you doing, Larry? How you doing, Mac Daddy? And hello, Leonard.
Hi, Retro.
All right.
But anyway, So, like I said, unless I decided I didn't
What is
like
that?
the living conditions, looks like a root beer.
It's actually hot cocoa that's made straight from a brownie.
Oh, that looks good. That's why I wondered.
Yeah,
But,
all I do is put the brownie in water, microwave it for like a minute, and then stir.
Yeah,
Basically the same thing. How you guys doing?
good.
Hey,
Ted
well,
says as long as it's still clear according to his doctor.
Hey Larry, were you? I don't know if you were the one to talk about Ataris or one of you guys were talking about Ataris, but today I got 3 Atari consoles, originals, and a bunch of controllers and cords, and like bunches of games for them.
That
Cool.
could have either been Crazy Kid or Dan, because they were, or was it you, Ed? Because they were talking about sound cards.
Oh yeah, but we were talking. I was talking about that sound card that Dan had that he was going to give to. Can't remember who. To one of the ladies in the chat.
Well, probably one of them that lived close to him.
Yeah.
Hey Larry, I
he's
got a
trying to
new
figure out
hat.
how- Yeah, there you
Look
go.
at that.
It's my Irish
Coming
walking hat.
Coming up in the world.
Yeah,
I got to
Yeah.
get one.
yeah. Got to get a hat.
Yeah, I got to get one so I fit in.
But
Oh, you always fit in, Leonard.
Thank you, Retro. That's the nicest thing anybody said to me today.
Well, as the Irish always say, 1,000 welcomes.
Dodger Blue says Southern California pollution not good for lungs. Takes its toll over time. And some of the,
Absolutely.
you're right. In some of the parts of Southern California, it is not good. Now I hear it's better in LA area now than it used to be.
I think this last winter with all the snow and cold and rain has really helped them.
Well, it used to be they would have a smog alert, and there'd be a level, and it was at a certain level. They tell you to stay indoors because whether the smog was so bad, the pollution was so bad, it wasn't good to go outside.
Yeah.
Now that's back in the 70s.
we
don't
get
know if they still have
Pittsburgh
smog
smog
that
here
bad.
sometimes.
But
We get
a lot of cities get smog. But
we get
not
we get
like
quite a
LA.
bit. No, we get quite a bit from Pasadena and Bay City, where all the chemical plants
Well,
are.
see, LA's in that basin with the mountains behind it.
Yep.
You know, they got the ocean front and the mountains behind it.
Yep.
And that'll trap a lot of pollution in there until a good windstorm or rain comes in and clears it up.
Right.
And there's some other places that are similar to that, but I don't know if there's anybody worse than LA.
Yeah,
Hey
Larry.
Ed, you take care. Ed says later, my Gators, be well and stay safe.
All right, Ed, you be careful. Ah,
Hey,
fancy.
I got a couple of freebies today from an actual thrift shop.
Good.
These are from my childhood. These are actual McDonald's handhelds that were handed out at McDonald's in 2004.
Wow.
There's a Tony Stewart one, and also, you wouldn't know this one, it's Spyro. It's a popular game, but here's the inside.
Cool. Okay.
I believe I told you guys about the Nickelodeon VHSs I was trying to get. Well, I lucked out today at Rugrats in
Got it.
Paris movie.
All
I
right.
got the orange VHS.
And Dodger Blue says Mexico City's supposed to have the worst air pollution in the world.
Oh, I think I have heard that. Now
I've
that you
heard they
mention-
were bad. I didn't know if they were
Yeah.
worse than LA.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
because of the diesel in Mexico.
Well,
They
also
burn that high sulfur diesel.
Yeah, but Mexico City's probably also in like a valley-like area,
yeah.
which traps the pollution in that area. It takes a storm or of some kind, whether it's wind or rain, to drive it out.
Well, yeah, but it also has to do with the high sulfur diesel. Oh my God!
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying though,
It'll just kill you.
You also have to have something to hold it in.
Right,
If nothing holds it in, then yeah, it's
blow
bad,
out.
but it's not going to be the worst.
Right. Well, that
It's like Manila. Manila's got bad air pollution too because of all the jeepneys and And,
Oh, there's no public transportation in Mexico City either. There's no subway.
but I'm just saying, though, a lot of major cities have bad air pollution,
All right. Ooh,
but
Right.
there are certain ones that are worse than others.
Uh huh.
L.A.
Yeah,
and Mexico
absolutely.
City
Yeah.
and places like that.
Well, like Ed was talking about the high sulfur diesel. That's why we sell all the Alaskan oil because it's dirty oil. It's not clean. So we export it all.
Oh, is that why?
Yes, that's why.
I didn't
That's
know
been-
that.
It's been that way since '74 when they started building the pipeline up there.
Yep.
And I made a mistake in '74. I went to Arizona to Wyoming instead of Alaska. If I'd have went to Alaska, I probably would be way better off than I am now.
Well, they pay a lot better up there, and they don't. I don't think they got an income tax.
Well, that's a Republican state, so they probably do.
You
Well,
guys,
no.
that for sure.
The oil pays all their taxes, if I remember
Well,
right.
they get a big rebate from the oil.
Now, wait a minute.
Every year.
Texas doesn't have income tax, right?
Texas doesn't have state income tax.
And that's a Republican state, by the way.
It was a
hold on.
Democratic state,
Florida doesn't have an income tax.
Republican state.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
it's
wait
not
till next.
not a
Wait till
given.
next election.
Yeah,
It'll still be a Republican state.
it might be.
It will be. It will. Now, there are going to be some Democratic cities. It's like my home state.
Well, it's like Houston's Democratic.
Yeah, but I'm saying the state itself is Republican right now.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to have like where I'm at, it's a Democratic state. All right.
Right.
But there are areas of Republicans.
right.
None of the places I live.
But see, there's now Washington State is Democrat state, and it's been that way for as long as I can remember, and
It's
no
been
income tax.
Yeah, and same thing with Oregon. Oregon's a Democratic state.
Yeah.
And so is
But,
California.
but Oregon has a state income tax, and so does California.
Yeah.
So it's
So
not a
does
given.
So does Washington State.
Washington State does not have a state income tax.
When did they get rid of it?
They haven't had it for years.
Well, you got to remember, I lived there back in the 70s.
Well,
We got even a local tax in Pennsylvania.
Now, in
Well-
Indiana, there is no local sales tax. None. It's all state. All right. Now, certain
Well, we don't have a
areas,
local sales tax. We got a local tax.
I know. I'm getting to that. In certain areas of Indiana, there's an extra little sales tax up around Indianapolis to pay for the stadium for the Colts, and I think the Pacers.
yeah, some
That's
states
all right.
have that. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
That's on our
Houston,
cable bill.
But
Houston has a bigger sales tax than the rest of the state.
now, as far as income tax goes, some counties have an income tax. Some counties don't. Nobody can
income
get
tax
an
is
income
state.
tax. The citizens of that county have to approve an income tax. They can't just put it in. All right. I'm from Vigo. I was from Vigo County, no income tax. Now there is a state. I'm talking about county tax. There's no state county
Well,
income tax.
Most places don't have a county income tax. They only have a
New
state.
York has some too. Believe me, down around New York City,
Well,
they
I
have
wouldn't
income
be
tax in
surprised.
certain areas.
I wouldn't
We
be
have a-
surprised.
Yeah.
We have it by the local municipality.
Well, like I said, in Indiana, it's up not the city. The city, it's the whole county votes on it.
Right.
Here, you'll like this one though. We have like a 1 or 2 point local income tax, but there's no state law that allows them to collect it.
Yeah.
Well, in Indiana, they can collect it if they got it. But the thing now, here's what gets people, and I tell anybody moving to Indiana to take this part in consideration. Are you working in a county that has an income tax? Because if you do, even if you live in a county that doesn't have it,
Oh, you're going to pay it where you work.
you're going to
yeah.
pay it one way or the other. So I'm saying if you live, find out where you're working. If they have an income tax, live where you want.
Hey, when I was working
If
for
you
BP
work in a
and
county
traveling,
that doesn't have the income tax, do not move to a county that has one.
Well, that's like
Because they will
paying
take
wage
it.
tax in Philadelphia.
well, see, when I was working for BP, I did a lot of traveling. I worked in a bunch of different states. Now, if they hadn't have had some kind of a rule that allowed us to not have to pay income tax in those states, we would have had to pay income tax in each and every one of those different states. Do you know what kind of a mess my taxes would have been?
Well, it's
New
usually
York-
where you reside.
Huh?
It's usually the state you reside in.
Well, I
You're
know,
right.
but you technically have to pay it in the state you earn it in,
Yeah. If you work in another
regardless
state,
of
you
where
got to
you
pay.
live.
You got to pay their taxes, but it depends. I think you got to work there for so long.
It
You
might
take
be
these
something like
ball
that,
players.
or
You
a
take these
certain
ball
amount.
players. They don't pay the taxes for every state they play in. They pay for those taxes only in the state they live in or play
Yeah.
for.
Right.
They tried to get New York was one of them. Wanted to, and there was a couple others, but they wanted to tax the ball players percentage of what their income was, depending on how often they played in the state.
Right.
Baseball players would pay a certain percentage for every game. Same thing with football and basketball players.
Yeah.
But it didn't go over. And but they tried that a few years ago. They were talking about trying to do that.
Yeah, I heard a big deal about that a few years ago. Probably there in New York, but there were some places trying to do that. But that's why so many of the professional athletes have homes in Texas.
Because they live there and work somewhere
Yeah,
else.
look
but
at Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Larry,
Retro.
if you hear a bunch of bell sounds and everything, that's just our cats at my mom's house. I'm at my mom's house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not my
But-
usual location.
Be nice to her.
I will.
But anyway,
I'll
like
catch
I
you guys
said,
later.
though, a lot of ones live either Florida or Texas because they both don't have income tax,
Right.
and so that's where they'll live and they play wherever they're at.
Right.
'Cause that way they're not paying two income tax.
Yeah.
But now, Florida, they have a two tax system. All right. You know how many people go down there for the snowbirds, right?
Right. Right.
On their property tax, if you don't live down there over half the year, you pay a higher property tax
Yeah.
than the ones that live there year round are over half a year.
Yep.
I found that out. A guy I worked with, they had property down in Florida, and they lived in New York, and they went back and forth, but they spent most of the time in New York because that's where they worked. And he was getting ready to retire, and he said, "Man, that will save me a lot, almost half the price of income. I mean, property tax. It went down almost half, as much as what it was for a non-resident." And he said he was going to save a bunch of money because him and his wife, he stayed up more because his wife was still working. She was younger.
Yeah.
And so once she was ready to retire, they moved down there pretty much full time. They came up only during the summer months. So they were down there about 8-9 months out of the year instead of 3 or 4 months.
Right. So that fixed.
So
the
they kind of
taxes.
flipped it, and that saved them a lot of money on their property taxes.
Yep.
I don't miss Florida, I'll tell you that.
I got cousins that live down there. I've never been to Florida.
Never either.
I was in Broward County,
Yeah.
which is just north of Miami. It's Hollywood and Davie.
My cousins, they live in Naples.
It
Which is one
wasn't
of the
nice.
Huh?
Florida for me wasn't nice. The people weren't nice.
Naples is one
They'd
of the.
hold you up. You'd come home from eating dinner. They'd be waiting in the bushes to hold you up on your front lawn.
Yeah. Like I said, my cousins live in Naples, and that's one of the little more high end areas.
I was in a high end area.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that's a little more of the high end. What it is her husband was a oral surgeon. All right, so he made real good money, and they he retired and they moved down there. Bought a place right off of golf course because he loves to play golf. They went down there to visit friends, wasn't even looking to buy, and fell in love with the area. But I mean, I've seen pictures where she walks out and there's a snake right beside her car. You look out the back door, there's an alligator. It's like, you can have that. I don't need that.
Nope. And the worst thing is there's a bunch of non-native snakes there in the Everglades. Those pythons and boas and stuff.
Yeah. There's not many boas.
There's a lot
of pythons, but the pythons is the biggest of the constrictors that are there.
Yeah.
And they is it the male? I think they release some of the males and put tractors on them because they'll lead them to the females because when it's mating season and you get rid of a female, you get rid of a lot of snakes.
I don't know why they're not shooting them down there. They always want to run around and catch them.
They want to catch them, and I don't know what they're doing with them.
Well, they put them in freezers and skin them and sell the skins.
Yeah. Well, just shoot them in the head. Dang.
Deborah,
I don't understand why they're not shooting them. With like 22.
Yep.
Pop a little hole in their head, and you still got that python skin.
Yeah.
I think we lost Larry.
No, Larry's there. He just changed the view.
Oh.
I didn't mean to.
Well, all I can see is your right eye. Whoop, now all I can see is head. There we go.
I hit a wrong button. I was doing something else and I hit a wrong button.
That happens to the best of us. You did it again.
I did it again, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I was right there in Plantation, Florida, in Hollywood. And right there was like the beginning of the Everglades. There was pythons everywhere.
Yeah, they need to get them out of there.
They
Those
can't.
They
never
can.
Well, they're trying. They got a bounty on them. Everybody goes in. Eventually, they'll reduce them.
Well, the pythons eat the alligators, and the alligators eat the pythons.
Oh yeah.
Just not enough numbers.
Well, the problem is it's eating everything else.
Yeah.
All the small birds, all the small mammals.
And Deborah says hi to everybody.
Hello, Deborah.
I used to buy snakes from the guy who let all them loose in the Everglades.
Yeah, that guy ought to be shot.
That was Von Horn from Strictly Reptiles. The one hurricane came through and blew his building down is what happened.
Well, I think some others were probably set free from people that bought them and they got big.
Sure. Well, yeah, the iguanas and everything are a problem too. Yeah. Same thing.
Nothing like the snakes, though.
But what I'm saying is,
the iguanas do a lot of damage because they got all these overpasses where they got to build the dirt up to take the highway over.
Yeah.
And if you get an iguana colony going, and they like dig under the highway, and they cause real damage. They hunt the iguanas with bow and arrow.
Huh.
And they're huge, beautiful iguanas are whacking, but they got to go.
Yep.
So what they really need to do is outlaw people bringing those kind of things in.
Absolutely. There's really no.
And if you bring them in, they got to be brought in for not to be pets.
Right.
Well, the problem is though, Larry, they didn't bring them into Florida to be pets. They flew them into Florida, and then they were selling them all over the United States as pets.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, there's people that bought them that let them go
because a lot of people in
they got
Florida
bigger. They got bigger than what they wanted.
Yeah, and they got loose everywhere.
Yeah. And they do the same thing with rabbits, and they do the same thing.
The climate doesn't take them out. See, in the north, they freeze and they die.
Right.
Now they bring these little lizards called anoles from South America in, and they're all over Florida. And interestingly enough, in the Philadelphia region, because it doesn't get the hard freezing winter it used to get, You go to my brother's house in Levittown, Pennsylvania. There's all over his backyard these little anole lizards that some little kid has a pet and it got loose,
Yeah.
and they're everywhere now. They're aggravating.
Now, Leonard, did you see your friend of yours has made your love shout out to you? Pintadois? Pintadois? I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm trying.
Pintados.
Yeah, this is made
I'm
your love
guessing.
shout out to Leonard Lund.
Thank you very much. How are you doing, man? How are you doing, Pintados? Thank you, Larry. I did not see that.
Is that Panos?
No.
It's Pintados.
Oh no.
Pintados.
Pintados, or something like that.
Well, if it's Spanish, that's how you'd say it.
Yeah, I thought it might be Greek when I said Panos.
Oh yeah, no.
But
I don't know any Greek people that I know of. Well, I probably do, but not.
I do, but I've never not seen them online.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her or anybody in her. There's a girl I knew in college.
I
knew
love
her, her
Greek food.
boyfriend, and a couple others, and she has
Yeah,
a
some
twin, but
Greek
I haven't
food's
talked
really
to them in over 40 years,
Yeah.
or almost 40 years, I should say, not over, almost 40 years. So it was a long time ago. Last time I heard, she was up around Chicago area. But as a matter of fact, the last I heard, she was working at the Great Mistakes
Yeah.
Naval Base, Great Lakes. We call it Great Mistakes. She was working up in that area. I don't know if she was actually working on base, but she was working in that area. Last I heard. But that's probably been close to over 30 years. But it's been a long time.
Oh yeah, I know who that is. That is the one I invited tonight.
Okay, well, you did say you had a friend you invited.
Yeah.
So they made it. I gotta
Yep.
do this.
Glad to see you got here.
So hard getting around.
Yeah, you're right. They are in Texas. They're getting to be such a problem that they're letting people hunt them out of helicopters.
What's that? The feral pigs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got it. God, pigs have so many critters, man. They can't.
Well, somebody calculated it, and one sow, if she starts breeding and lives to be a normal age of like 15 or something like that, produces over 1 million offspring. I mean, she's the cause of 1 million other pigs getting out there.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't come up with a more efficient way to take them out.
Well, they trap them, and they're
about the best.
open season to hunt them.
Like my neighbors went down to Texas to hunt them, and where they were, the one guy shot like through one and into another one and killed them both. They charged him for them both, and it's like you guys
Thanks, Tim.
get rid of them down there.
If he's on a hunting farm,
Yeah,
and that's what they're going to do. You pay for what you kill.
but God, they want so many of them dead down there. You might as well just go out. You guys got game lands? I guess not.
Yeah, there's open lands, and you got ranchers and farmers who would love to have you come and kill them.
Yeah.
But if you go to a game ranch, you got to follow the rules. If you kill one animal, you pay for one.
Is it hard?
You pay for 3.
Is it hard to find them, like on the properties, or are they that
Not
mischievous?
really.
Probably just put out some food for them, and they're all there eating. You can sit there and whack them.
Most of them have feeders, and you just set up in a blind close to the feeder, and when they all come in, you get to pick the one you want.
There's around here somewhere there's farms for hunting, but it's not for pigs. It may be for turkeys and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably whitetail and stuff.
Could be for deers as well.
Well, where I'm at, we have all that, and it's all out in nature. You can just seasonably hunt what you want.
Yeah, but I'm saying where you go to these farms and they have it on the property, so you know they're there.
Well, we know
I don't
they're
think it's
here.
deer, but like I said, I think it's like turkeys and stuff like that. It's stuff that you can probably get out in the
free range, yeah.
in the free range, but you may not see it for a few days.
All I
Here
got to
you'll
do
probably
is
see it that day that you go.
All I got to do is walk across the street. I have Wild Kingdom here every day.
Yeah, but when it's
But
hunting
is
time, a lot of
anybody
those things
hunting there?
disappear.
Yeah, they hunt here. The turkeys are a little sparse right now. They seem to come and go in waves.
Yeah.
Every few years, you have like a big wave of turkeys, and then they go down a little bit. Like when I moved here, there was a lot more turkeys. I haven't seen any turkeys lately, but you can hear them. They are out there. Like
Yep.
we have the big thing right now is bear cubs here. Mother bear and her cubs are running around all over here right now.
And by the way, Leonard, your friend asked you how you're doing.
I just saw that.
Okay.
I'm doing good, Pintados. How are you?
We have rattlesnakes, and they crossed with the timber snake and
Well,
became
timber rattler's pretty bad snake.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, they're not only much bigger, they're also much more venomous, and they're huge. They're black and they look like a tire track diamond print on them. They're very pretty, but they're like twice the size of a regular rattlesnake.
Well, that depends on where you find that regular rattlesnake.
Well, Pennsylvania rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
only about 3 feet long.
Yeah, they get 6 to 8 feet long down here.
Yeah, timber rattlers down
you
here
don't
can be
see
that long.
You don't see them very often that big, but they do.
You're allowed to catch the rattlesnakes here if you catch females. You're not allowed to keep males. If you have a fishing license in Pennsylvania, you can hunt and keep the rattlesnakes. What are you going to do with them? I don't know. I don't want them.
I don't want them either.
They
Now,
kill
if
them.
you were-
They say they taste good,
Yeah.
No thanks.
but you got to know how to kill them so the poison don't get in the meat.
Well, you just cut their head off.
Yeah,
But,
just shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
They're not very tasty. They're rubbery. Snake is not. It ain't like you're eating chicken.
Kent Rollins is a chuck wagon cook, but he's done a video on rattlesnake.
All I got to say is I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to see it. I don't like snakes.
They eat
I
the
don't like
python
snakes either.
too in Florida. They say it has the texture of car tire. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, they're all muscle.
Yeah.
They don't have any bones, but they're all muscle.
Oh, they got bones.
Yeah, they got ribs, but
They're not much of
Snakes
a
didn't have ribs.
Oh yeah.
They got to have something to support the body.
Yeah, I don't want to eat those snakes.
No.
All I got to say, those boa constrictors and pythons are all muscle.
Yeah.
They're not much fat, if any fat, on those things.
No.
And so, no, they wouldn't taste good at all.
Well,
Tim says rattlesnake stew. Laugh out loud.
You can have it, Tim.
yeah, I'm not into eating too many reptiles.
I'm not into eating any reptile.
Well, gator is pretty good.
I haven't had
it, but I'm not into eating it.
No, I've had it. I've had it several times. It's pretty good.
Doris, welcome to my channel. We're glad you came. She just said hello to everybody.
Yep. And she
Nigel
is.
Lou says rattlesnake tastes like chicken to him, at least in stew.
Well, that's good. Glad to hear you like it.
They were eating a tagoo lizard the other day in the Philippines.
Well,
That didn't look too appetizing.
There's a lot of people here, even in the States, that'll eat that stuff.
I saw them eating scorpions.
They do that. They do that in Thailand.
Well, this is the Philippines.
But
But
Thailand,
I think it might have been just a Filipina in Saudi. But
But I know they do that in Thailand. They eat a lot of different bugs and stuff in Thailand.
yeah. No,
You
anything.
know what I got to say to that, don't you?
No.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
I say enjoy.
Yeah.
Cheers
I'll
to you. I'll
pass.
take the beer. You
I'll
eat the.
pass.
I don't want none of that dried fish either.
I'd rather have the dry fish than that scorpion.
No, thank you.
They tell me that dried fish stinks so bad you got to cook it outside.
That's what.
And they sit there and eat it like it's a great dinner. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, yeah, but then think about it. They eat balut.
Yeah, well, they're fucked up. Excuse me. They're messed up.
There are nice ladies in the chat, so watch your
That's
language.
right.
No, listen, I can't eat no poor little duckies.
I can eat a duck, just not
when
one
you're
that's
still
not
in the egg.
fully grown.
Yeah. Not when he's still in the egg.
Not one that's in his own
not fully grown.
excrement. Oh,
And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not that crazy about duck, but I'd rather have a fully grown duck.
Properly
Now, I
cooked.
love my
yeah.
chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, exotic. Now, some of that stuff in the Philippines is not exotic because it's local cuisine.
Right.
But to us, it's exotic.
Yeah.
none of it's exotic to me. It's disgusting.
But no, it's exotic.
What
It
I
just- it doesn't
consider
matter whether you like
exotic
it or
is
not.
filet mignon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll
Now
take a
that's
filet
exotic.
mignon in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But now you got to remember now, real true beef in the Philippines is probably exotic because they don't get it.
Well, it's brought in from New Zealand. They get it. Go to SNR. John Lee General.
There's a lot of people in the Philippines that have never had real beef.
Well, that might be, but
Now, when you're talking about coming in from other countries, you're talking about Manila, Cebu, the bigger cities.
Where did they get Jollibee from or McDonald's?
That is not a beefsteak.
no, but it's beef.
Maybe.
No, it is.
I'm not even sure that McDonald's here in the States is beef.
It's actually McDonald's here in the States is 100% real beef.
Okay, that's what they claim.
Well, that's what doctors claim too.
Yeah. Well, they used to not use real beef
Yeah.
or 100%.
No, they weren't 100%.
I guarantee. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, who knows what they're using in the Philippines? I can't guarantee it's 100% beef.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I don't know about the Philippines,
But like I said, though, a steak, that's something a lot of Filipinos can afford. They would rather have the Jollibee than have that steak because of affordability, for one thing.
yeah.
A lot of them can't afford pork in the market either over there.
Right.
There's for you. They're not as. It's sad.
Yeah,
So I can tell
It
you.
is. It's very sad.
But I'm just saying, like Tim says, beef is very expensive in the Philippines. Very expensive.
My friend in the Philippines,
Well, go
she
ahead.
can't afford to feed her family pork often or even chicken.
Yeah. Now your
just
friend
can't afford it.
Leonard, your friend says KFC. She got a big old smile and Jollibee.
Yep.
And
They
I
never
agree.
eat that.
I love KFC if it's done right.
Yeah.
I've never had Jollibee, so I can't say.
I haven't either. I've
I
got
wanna
one
try it.
about. I've got one like 2 miles from here.
The
I've got to
closest,
go
the
try it.
closest one I know to me is in New York City.
Yeah.
There's one in North Jersey too.
Yeah, but that is it closer to me than New York City?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. The closest one I know is in New York City.
Yeah. There's 2 or 3 of them that I know of here in Houston. And
No,
there's
they
one
got
up on
they
Westheimer
got
that's
one
not
in.
that far from me.
I want to say they got a place they call Little Manila. I want to say it's in Queens, New York. There's a
I've
little
heard of it.
area that's got a lot of Filipinos, a lot of Filipino food, and I guess if you go there, it really reminds you of the Philippines. And now there is a bigger Jollibee down around Times Square somewhere. It's the newest one. But if I'm
Yeah.
going to go, I'd probably prefer to go down to Little Manila.
Yeah. She says steak from Buffalo.
Yeah.
Carabao.
And real beef is very expensive.
Well, now according to Steve from Philippine Information Channel, there's
Yeah.
several places you can get good beef at decent prices. It's more expensive than pork or chicken, but it's still decent prices.
Well, you got to remember now, he lives close to Manila.
yeah.
The
Well,
farther away you live,
Carabel-
the more expensive because it's got to travel more. Tim says beef is very expensive where he's at.
Carabao milk should make the best mozzarella because the Italians make mozzarella di buffalo, which is buffalo mozz.
Now,
It's like-
Dodger Blue says Popeye's chicken is the bomb. Tastes better than rattlesnake. I believe you. I've had
I would
Popeye's
say for
chicken.
sure.
It's not bad.
You know,
They don't have dirty rice anymore, though. Popeyes canceled the dirty rice. I used to love their dirty rice.
it's just not healthy.
May not be healthy, but that doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah. It's good, but it's not healthy.
Oh, it was pork
Rice-
and rice and hot.
Rice and potatoes are two of the worst foods you can possibly eat because they're high starches. And that starch turns to glucose almost immediately once you eat it. Now, I hate that. I'm being blasphemous because I'm talking bad about potatoes. I'm from Idaho. I mean, let's face it.
Yes, bud.
But facts is facts.
Yes, bud.
Well, I happen to like both rice and potatoes. I love potatoes. My grandmother used to make what they call an Irish potato pie.
I've heard of that. I don't know if I've ever had it, but I've heard of it.
Well,
Is
my
that like a
grandma
shepherd's pie?
No, Irish potato pie is made out of potatoes.
Oh.
It's just like it says, Irish potato. It's made out of the russet or whatever kind of potato it is, the white potato instead of sweet potato. She used to make that. I don't, this is when I was a kid. So
Now I've had sweet potato pie, which is very similar to pumpkin pie.
yeah, it is. I like sweet potato pie.
Yep.
And,
I like my pumpkin pie made with neck pumpkins. You know what a neck pumpkin is?
Nope.
Nope.
A neck pumpkin, you know what a butternut squash is?
Yeah.
It's a butternut squash that's so long that the one side grows real fast and the other one grows slow. And it gets about the size of like a 13-inch car tire with a big bell on the end.
Oh, okay.
They grow them all over Pennsylvania here. The Amish grow them. They call them neck pumpkins because you pick it up and put it around your neck to carry it out of the field. It's so big. It'll go across your shoulders.
All right, but it's a butter squash though.
It's a type of butternut squash.
Okay. Butternut squash is pretty good.
Yep.
No, it's the biggest butternut squash you ever seen. It's the size of a car tire.
Now Tim says, I don't like paying $15 for a small steak at the store. So, like I said, where he's at,
That sounds like Houston. Let's
Yeah,
get
really.
on sale.
yeah, but that's what he's saying. But you're in the Philippines. That's
Yeah.
very expensive for a.
Yeah, but
A
that's
meal.
probably a really high quality piece of New Zealand meat.
Yep, probably.
But the thing is, like I said, though, you that's very expensive for the Philippines.
Just like here, I'd
A lot of people can't afford that.
rather have a steak from Argentina than the United States in most cases, because even though the United States grows a lot of good beef, when I know it's from Argentina, I know it's just better quality.
I
Yeah.
question that. That's why they stopped importing it from Argentina.
Well, they don't want to. They don't want to. They
Years
still
ago-
import it.
Years ago, they imported about 70% of the beef from Argentina. And it became obvious that it wasn't near the quality.
Well, they cut way back on it, but like if I go to the gourmet market in Philadelphia and I want to buy a great steak, oftentimes I'm buying beef from Argentina. The grass-fed beef is just really good.
Well, you can still buy the grass-fed. Well, I mean, let's face it, all beef is grass-fed.
Yeah, well,
It's
I get really good,
finished. It's grass finished that you want.
yeah, I get really good beef here in Pennsylvania sometimes, as long as it's not like IBP stuff. If it's genuine Pennsylvania farm beef, it's generally pretty
Yeah,
good
Dodger.
quality.
Dodger, that elk steak is one of the best there is. Moose is as good, maybe better, but Elk is wonderful.
We have some elk here in Pennsylvania, not
Pinto
many.
Doe says Philippines eat rice 3 times a day. Yeah, the saying is, isn't it? Rice is life.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I believe in the South, like Alabama and Georgia and areas like that, they eat a lot more rice than other places in the United
Yes.
States
That
because
is
they
true.
grow it.
Yep.
Oh, the Carolinas, they eat a lot of rice too.
Yeah, because they grow
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
grow a lot of rice down in the South, so it's a
grow-
very staple part of their diet.
They grow a lot more rice in California than you'd ever imagine.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
don't grow
probably.
the most. The most is in the South.
Yep.
Now, most is in
Louisiana-
California.
No, Louisiana and Georgia.
No. The most rice is grown in California.
Let me check. I'm going to check it.
Please
I
do.
can't argue that for sure, but I kind
Which
of doubt
state?
it.
Whoops. Which state grows the most rice in the United States?
California.
Arkansas.
Yeah, that would make sense. They grow a ton of rice though in California, a lot more than they can grow down south. They grow a lot down south though.
You got to remember
Arkansas,
down
though.
south, Texas is down south. They grow a lot of rice here.
Yeah, that they do too.
Probably more in Texas than California.
Louisiana is second.
Where's California come in?
Hang on, I'll just do the top 10. They just give me first and second. What are the top 10 states grow rice?
I was surprised about Arkansas being number one.
I was too. I thought Louisiana.
Well, I guess Louisiana's got all the bayou.
Yeah.
All right, now on this list, California's two. So the leading rice growing states in the United States are Arkansas, California, Louisiana, Missouri, Texas, and Mississippi.
I knew Texas was up there.
I didn't know Mississippi'd pop in so high.
Why
I'm
not?
surprised they popped in as high as they did. But like I said, the South grows a lot of rice.
Yes, they
Well,
do.
A lot
the
of
United
Rice
States in
fields
general exports a lot of rice.
rice.
Yep.
They can grow rice cheaper than Japan or China can grow it.
Yep.
They can export it. Japan has a limit. They put a tariff on the U.S. rice, so their rice farmers don't go out of business. We could grow it so cheap compared to Japan that would put their rice farmers out of business.
Well, you know what else we send over there?
yeah, Dodge, you're right.
We grow a ton of chicken that goes over to the Orient. Japan and China and what have you.
Now, Tim says you don't see the New Zealand beef, but plenty of Australian beef.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
But like I said, though,
I was a little surprised about that. I would think.
I'm
New Zealand
surprised
beef would be
California's
there.
number 2. Because, like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, I know Louisiana grows a lot of rice. I think they were 3. Missouri was around 4 or something.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they grow a lot of rice in the South. And
Yep.
well,
It's got the right climate,
yeah, it
and
really
it's
does.
wet.
When I told you guys before, I went to New Orleans and went to some of those. Well, they were slave plantations, that are open for visitors, and that's what a lot of those slave plantations did down there. Wasn't cotton; it was rice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the ground was too wet for cotton.
Yeah, in Louisiana, it was rice.
Yep.
And wild rice isn't rice. It's some other kind of seed.
Yeah. Well, it's like everybody says, well, brown rice is better. It's the same damn rice. The only difference is they polish the hull off it
Yes.
to make white. So you don't have as much fiber. And you don't need fiber in the first place. There's absolutely no minimum
Well,
daily requirement.
All I know
for
is they
fiber.
always said the darker the rice, the healthier. Is all I know.
Yeah.
Whether
And
it's
it
true or
actually
not, I
turns
don't know.
out to not be true. It's just like,
I tried
whole wheat
purple rice and
bread.
I didn't like it.
yeah. I've never tried purple. I've seen it.
Well,
I've never tried it.
If I'm
I tried
eating
it 'cause
rice,
I
I
looked
like
at the black rice and they didn't have it, but they had the purple.
Yeah,
I like basmati rice.
I'll go with
that is good rice.
I'll go with white rice if I'm going to have rice.
Yeah,
Basmati rice is white rice, but it's really flavorful.
I've had
Yeah, it's-
jasmine, or I think that's what they
Jasmine's
call it.
good.
yeah, jasmine's good, but I think I have to agree with Ed. I think I lean towards the basmati.
And Tim's right. We do export a lot of rice.
Yep.
It might be the
They eat
number one crop
basmati
that
rice
we
in the
export.
Philippines.
Huh?
They eat basmati rice in the Philippines.
But like I
It's
said, we
funny,
can grow it
though.
so much cheaper than a lot of these countries that grow rice that they put a import tax on it so their farmers can compete. Like I
Yeah.
said, Japan limits what we can send in. Because, like I said, we can produce it so much cheaper than they can. It would actually, nobody would buy the local grown rice.
Well, that's the same thing with soybean.
Now, soybean was imported over here wasn't it from Japan or was it from China?
Probably from China.
We
But
we
the
export
problem
it.
is,
here.
the problem is the soy we have here is all GMO. It's not none of the same soy that they have in China.
But I'm just saying, it originally was imported. And
Yeah.
then, like the cherry trees in D.C., that came from Japan. They're around the Capitol.
Yeah.
Those cherry trees were a gift from Japan.
Well, those ones.
Yeah, I'm not saying all. I just said those cherry trees in D.C. by the Capitol were a gift from Japan many years ago.
Then we have chokeberries, which is a type of cherry.
Yeah, choke cherries.
Yes, they're very
I-
big in Europe. They do choke cherry juice.
Yeah.
I happen to like the black cherries myself.
Choke
Yeah.
cherry is a black cherry.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it just different name, or are they two different cherries?
they're two different cherries. Choke cherry is a real tiny cherry, about the size of a blueberry, and
Yeah,
a small
I know,
blueberry at that.
And the black cherry gets big.
Yeah.
And a black
'Cause-
cherry gets big, but the choke cherry has a lot of antioxidants in it,
Well,
and it's
see,
supposedly very healthy.
one of the places before I went in the Navy that I lived, matter of fact, it was the last place my family lived just when I went in the Navy. And they had the place up for sale, so I knew they were moving. But we had two cherry trees, red and a black cherry. I always liked the black cherry better.
Yeah.
Well, the lighter red ones are for making cherry pie because they're sour.
Yeah.
You mix sugar with them; they make a real nice tart pie.
Yeah.
And we had
No,
a
I
yellow
like
and red
black
delicious
grapes.
apple tree. We had a peach tree till my older brother killed it. Well, he was going to trim it up.
No.
He trimmed it up all right. He trimmed it up too much.
We had an apple tree on my grandfather's farm. Had 5 different kind of apples on it because he grafted it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was cool.
You can buy apple trees like that.
Well, most of the apple trees you do buy are grafted because they put like a Honeycrisp on like a 2-year-old, a Honeycrisp branch on a 2-year-old tree,
Yeah.
and it comes out of the ground quicker. Do you know that all the avocados, all the Hass avocados are grafted?
I'm not a bit surprised.
That's how you get a Hass avocado. You got to graft it onto another tree. You can't plant a Hass avocado seed and get a Hass tree.
Tim says weather update 110 at 10:45 a.m.
All right. Good for you.
Where's that at?
Oh, Tim's in the
He's
Philippines.
he's in
He's
Angeles
in
City.
Angeles City.
Because my fiance every day complains about how hot it is in Honda.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her
Irma.
about that tomorrow morning.
Hey,
How you
Irma, how are
doing?
you?
110. Oh my God, that's just too hot.
Irma, if
You
I
wouldn't-
remember right, is actually in, I want to say Iloilo.
You know, even when I was in Florida, I would, Leonard, I'd only go out at night when it was real hot.
You
By
wouldn't
10
manage, you would not be able to get by in the Philippines then. You couldn't even live in Phoenix.
Well, by 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd be heading for the air, and
Yeah.
like 5 o'clock, I would come out.
Go ahead. The day I got to Phoenix, at 6 in the morning, when I got there, it was already 105.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
and that was June 17th.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Go like in October, if you can deal with the Christmas that's going on. It'll
Well,
be
that's
I think that's supposed to be a better time to travel, isn't it?
Yeah, I've heard that. I think, in fact, last night Dan said that
what
October
I'm
was the
saying.
best time to go.
Yeah, it'll be that around that time.
Yeah.
So probably a little cooler.
Did you ever see the pictures of the Filipino women living in Iceland?
No.
There's a lot of Filipino women that marry these Icelandic fishermen.
Yeah,
'Cause there's no women.
I've heard of them. They somebody even interviewed one of them. I can't
Oh,
remember.
they had them on Sunday morning on CBS a couple times.
But I've never seen what you're talking about. I do remember somebody interviewing one of the Filipinos that went over and was married to an Icelander, and they were talking about how different it is, and she was talking about how there was a fairly large community of them. But I can't remember who did that. That
I got
video.
to figure out how to put together a big chunk of money though fast.
Well, you'll figure it out.
Dr. Blue Leonard wants to know if you ever went tubing down the Salt River outside of Phoenix.
Yes.
Okay.
A couple times.
We tube here in Johnstown.
Yeah, but I went down the Snake River in Idaho.
Oh, that's got to be pretty much.
That's a wild river.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you didn't do it in inner tubes. You were in, big rafts. But that was crazy fun.
We have some whitewater rafting here in Pennsylvania, but the weather's got to be right for it.
Yep.
I've never done white rafting. I have done a lot of snorkeling.
Yeah.
I did that in the Philippines. I did a little bit in the States, but more in the Philippines. That's where I learned how to snorkel was in the Philippines. A friend of mine was a diver, and he wasn't certified, so he couldn't get the tanks, and he wanted somebody to go diving with him. So I learned how to skin dive, snorkel, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you can hookah dive. You don't need a tank permit. That's the new thing.
What's that?
What kind of dive?
Hookah.
What the heck is a hookah?
Yeah.
It's a breathing apparatus that floats at the top of the water, and it's got two hoses. So you breathe in one side and out the other, so your air doesn't get polluted. And you can breathe fresh air the whole time you're diving. And you can be in 30 feet of water with a 30-foot hose.
Well, you could go down quite far with tanks.
Well, tanks, yeah, you can go.
Tanks, yeah, but this is
go like 100 feet or something.
You can do 100. You can do 100-foot hookah, Larry. But there is no, you can stay down. You don't have to free dive.
Well, what I'm saying is, the farther down you go, no matter which way you're going, if you stay down very long at all, you're going to build up nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
And
yeah,
so you got to come up slower so it has a chance to come out. Now with the tanks, I don't know about the hookah, probably similar. But
the same thing.
Well, because that's the pressure.
Yeah. Well, I know at 60 feet, if you go down 60 feet, you can only stay 60 minutes, and then you have to go back up. And you should stop about every 10 feet for so long and then go back up. Now, if you go down 30 foot or less, you can stay down all day and you'll have no trouble. You can stay down
that's about all I would usually want to dive anyhow. 30 feet, I'm comfortable. Plus, the coral stops at like 30 feet.
Well, it depends. Have you ever seen videos on the thresher shark?
Yes.
All right. The thresher shark has a real long tail.
Right.
All right. But you got to go down almost 90 feet to see them. Same thing.
Not when I see them.
Well, then you're seeing them on camera.
No,
Whatever you want.
I'm seeing them hooked at the boat.
Not the
Don't
thresher
count.
shark. They don't come up far enough to get caught.
No.
You hook
They
them when
don't-
you're fishing.
They
You hook.
when the thresher shark only comes up to about 90 feet once or twice a day, the rest of the time they're down deeper. You have to have special training. Rod from Amazing Philippines.
Well-
Got the training so he could go diving down there, and they took him to where you can go, and you're not allowed to get near them. You can't touch them, and they come up at a certain time, almost every day at the same time. And they only come up for a little bit, and then they go back down, and they stay down 90 feet's the highest they come up.
Yeah, well, we catch them when we're fishing for tuna off the New Jersey coast and all the way up the eastern seaboard.
I don't know about thresher sharks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
stretcher
either.
sharks. They got that like 3 or 4 foot long saber tail on them.
Well, they got longer tail than that.
Well, it depends on how big they are. But we catch them when you're fishing for tuna. When you're chunking.
But anyway, now the well shark, they'll come right up to the surface.
Was that the whale shark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen one of them in person. I've seen a thresher. I've seen a bull shark. I've seen a blue shark. I've seen a mako. Never seen a white shark in person.
Well, a mako is a white shark.
No, it's not.
No,
I
it's
thought
not.
a
The
mako
mako.
was the white.
No.
I thought the mako was the white.
No. The great white shark is a totally different breed.
A mako. A
A
mako
mako
is
is
one of
very
the
vicious also.
very good eating. And makos
Yeah.
jump. When you hook a mako, it's a shark that's jumping like 6 or 8 feet out of the water doing flips.
Well, the great white will jump out of the water too.
Yeah, sure. But
But
I've never hooked a great white or seen one hooked. But makos are quite the swimmer.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
also very aggressive.
They're ve-
They attack people a lot.
They're very good. Well, bull sharks attack more people than anybody,
Yeah, that's probably true.
and they survive longest in fresh water.
Some of them
Exactly.
even adapt completely to fresh water
Yeah.
because there's some of them in rivers in India and Africa and stuff that are like
Manasquan
Hundreds
River
of
in
miles.
Jersey.
hundreds of miles upriver.
Manasquan River in Jersey has them.
Yeah, not
Because
surprised.
Manasquan River in Jersey has everything at the inlet.
Yeah,
Because you'll be fishing there, like you'll see bait balls of like sand eels and stuff. Everything eats them.
yeah.
But I don't know. I love fishing off of Jersey. It ain't what it used to be though.
Yeah,
We used to catch everything when I was a little kid. Jersey's so overfished these days. There's nothing. They're catching sea pout, which is like a giant goby, if you know what a goby is, and they have virtually no bones, and they're very good eating. But there would never be a sea pout out from between the rocks if there was other fish there, because he'd instantly get eaten.
yeah.
I got a question. Hang on. Ermina, if I remember right, you're from Iloilo. Am I right? That's where I was thinking you're from, is Iloilo. She's been in the chat a few times, and she's commented on some of my videos in the past. But I'm wanting to say, if I remember right, she's from Iloilo, and that's one of the areas I wouldn't mind looking at.
I want to go to the wet market in the Philippines and see what kind of fish you can buy.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
Which island?
Yeah, because
Oh,
it depends.
What city?
It depends on what fishermen.
And
Bring
what
in.
season? Yeah, what season and what's there? I know.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know if I want to go to the wet market. I'd like to go to the vegetable market for sure. But I'm not sure I'd be up early enough to get the freshest cut if at the wet market. That's why I'm not so sure I want to go to the wet market.
You don't need
Yeah,
the
you-
freshest cut.
No,
They got ice and stuff
want freshest
usually.
cut.
They
A lot
don't.
of
They
them
don't.
got
They don't have
ice.
refrigeration, so
Yeah, they don't. A lot of
Yeah,
places
they
don't
don't
have
ice
one on ice.
refrigeration.
They have a lot of them on ice. They got ice all over the whole island, and they ice them.
Like I said, there's places you'll go and they will not be on ice.
Yeah. All the
I
places,
can tell you,
all
And
the
that's
places
included
I've
in
seen
all the
people
meat.
going to the markets and going down and looking what there is. Wasn't no ice on the fish.
well, I can tell you this, that I can tell you the age of the fish or the quality of the fish by looking at it.
Well, yeah,
And
but
if
I
I
can't. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
real,
I can't. So
real
I'm not going to
easy,
do it.
real
If
easy.
it's
Look
if
at
it's really really
Your eyes
fresh,
are
I
supposed to
can.
tell you.
But
look, Larry. It's real simple. Look at the eye.
That's what I said. The eyes are supposed to tell you, but I don't know.
Well, the eye will be real clear and not sunk. And the other thing is, if it's been out and it's been out in the heat for a while, any fish just gets mushy.
yeah,
And
and the
that you
the
won't
skin
want.
will wrinkle up.
Well, the actual flesh just gets mushy. It
Yeah.
turns to mush.
Yeah, but see, I'm not much of a fish eater, as we've discussed before.
Right.
I like tuna, but
Well, I like. I don't know whether they
I
have them. I like redfish. Like red.
some of these markets, if you're not there early, the pork is gone before you get there.
Yeah. Well, that's
Uh,
everybody goes early because they know they don't have refrigeration
Yeah,
and they
that's
don't
what I
want to
said.
let the heat
So
of the day get
the
to it.
meat, I think I would be willing to pay a little more money for and go to the markets, the supermarkets,
Right.
I
and
can't
make sure I'm
imagine
getting
what
the fresher meat.
I can't imagine what the quality of the pork is in the Philippines for flavor.
I've heard
America,
it's really good. I've heard it's
yeah,
really good.
You got to remember now, they're not being fed the oh
Slop.
the medicine, the pro
Oh, antibiotics and stuff.
yeah, the antibiotics and all that stuff.
no, well they don't. They
They're
feed
they're
them
they're they're
commercial
fed a little
seafood.
more like it used to be when we were really young or younger
Right.
before us. It's a lot more natural feed for them.
Yeah.
Well, they feed them a lot of sleep products in the Philippines
Well,
if they're commercially raising.
we fed a lot of leftovers and other stuff years
Well,
and
they
years
do all that
ago.
too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We did the same thing years ago. We now there's some places they do buy regular feed for them. But that's
Right.
usually an expat running that farm. Not always, but usually. But so I have no problem in trying the pork or the chicken. The beef,
Well,
like
the
I
chicken
said,
now.
is the beef. I don't know. I don't think the quality would be there because they don't have a lot of cows. So you'd be more like buffalo.
Yeah, but
And
the chicken there is a lot different too.
yeah, it's smaller. They don't have the growth hormones.
Well, it's more than that. It's native chicken.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're smaller. They don't get the growth hormones.
No. It's native chicken. It's different chicken altogether.
It's still chicken.
Yeah, but chicken's different.
Well, that's like French chicken and the what is it? The leghorn. They're different. Almost any the leghorn, and they got one that's looks more like it's a fur or fluffy feathers, not regular feathers. There was a guy I used to watch in the Philippines. Now he took his channel down. I can't even remember the name of it anymore. But he had a bunch of different types of chicken. A couple of chickens, their feathers look completely different than other chickens.
Oh yeah.
And I think they were French chickens or something like that. So they were different in size, different in temperament.
They have a lot. They raise broilers in the Philippines that are Kabir.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be very good eating, but the native chickens, I don't know. I'm not into something so tough and stringy and ick.
Hey, look,
Real fussy.
I'll eat chicken. Now, I may decide I don't like it as much as the other, but I'll eat chicken. It's just like I'll eat pork, but I'm going to buy the freshest pork I can buy. The chicken, well, I'll probably get that when I go to restaurants. Who was it? Was it Deborah or trying to remember?
The wet markets I thought would be neat to see though.
Oh yeah, they would be. I would love to go through it. I'm just unless I'm there really early. I don't think I'd be buying my meat. I'm sorry. I'm just.
I have to agree with you, Larry. I've basically heard that being recommended.
Well, like I said, I mean, if you're there early, you're getting the freshest pick.
Well, you can
You
always
know?
do the supermarket thing.
Well, the supermarket they got it. They got it refrigerated. They got it
Packaged,
free,
you pay more
frozen,
for
or
it.
packaged up. So that's where I would get my meat most of the time. Like I said,
My
if I went to
problem is if I took it back to my fiance's house, they don't even have a refrigerator.
well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I would have one.
Oh, I
Yeah,
would.
you need to
They
get
don't
one
because they
for
can't afford one.
Yeah, but I mean, did you see that one video that Dan did on the apartments, and there was no refrigerator? And when he asked, they act like, no, you can't even buy one and put it in there. They don't want a refrigerator in there. And I told Dan, and he agreed with me. I would not rent a place that I can't have a refrigerator. Now, if they
Really?
don't have it, I'll buy one. But if they tell me I can't put one in, I'm not renting that place.
Well, the reason why they don't want them is because of the electric's so expensive.
And then they don't want me they don't want most Westerners as a guest because
They don't
most
want
Westerners
anybody.
are going to want a refrigerator.
Absolutely.
Even if it's just a small one, we're going to want a refrigerator.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we like cold drinks. They don't care.
Yeah, that's what I said. If nothing else, yeah, nothing else, cold drinks, and then you can put whatever you have left over in there and microwave it later. It
Right.
won't go bad on you.
Yeah, because most of them have microwaves.
Yeah.
I don't know what they got for a microwave. I never asked her that one, but
She may not have, but I'm saying most places that, as a Westerner, you would go and rent, most rooms that you would rent,
They've got a
as a
microwave.
Westerner, they would have a microwave.
Yeah. Actually, most of them have a refrigerator too.
yeah,
Most of
little
them
mini
does, but
fridge and microwave. And I mean, that's just that's just our
and
standard.
a hot water heater. When I say hot
Sometimes
water
the
heater,
hot water heater is an instant hot water heater.
no. When
Yeah,
I say
the
hot water
tankless.
heater, I mean one of those things that you can make tea with it, or
Oh,
that
a hot water pot. Yeah.
yeah, a hot water pot. They got that. Some of those places will not have a hot water heater in the bathroom.
Right.
I
I
regret
could
not
probably
buying.
live with that.
Well, most of them have a tankless in the shower mounted
Yeah,
on the
but
wall.
not,
Yes.
a lot of them don't have it. They got a place where you can put it in.
That's like a on again, off again thing. I mean, it's like 50-50.
Tim
But,
says microwaves are not common here.
I didn't think they were.
Wow, every
And Tim also says if
apartment,
you go to the wet market,
every
you need to
apartment
go
video-
by 6 a.m. Like I said, early.
Yes.
yeah.
And I don't know if I'd be up that early. maybe after,
Hey, Dodger,
like I
take
said,
care.
after I retire and maybe if I move over there,
You want to
maybe I'll
avoid
start
the
getting
heat,
up
you'll be up
early.
that early, Larry.
huh?
Yeah.
You want to avoid the heat, you'll be up that early.
Yep.
Like I said, air conditioned in the mall.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not going to survive well out in the daily heat, let me tell you.
But if you're only out there for 10 minutes, I'll survive it. I'm
So
sorry.
how you
I
going
can
to do
survive.
that?
Like I said, I
Well-
want to live close enough to walk within 10 minutes.
Well,
Where Dan is
don't
at,
go to the market.
no, I wouldn't go to the market.
No.
You'll be in the mall.
Where Dan lives, he's about 10-minute walk from a mall.
Sure.
I can walk that in the heat, and I can walk home in the heat. Now, do what I want. If you're going, let's be honest about it. If you're going to the mall, they don't even open till about 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's
They
going to
don't
be
open till
warm,
that here.
huh? That's
They
what I
don't
said.
open
It's going to be warm when you
Till
go.
that time here.
Now, if you go to the mall at 9, what time are you going home? You're going to turn around and go home at 10? No, you're going to stay there a couple hours. It's going to be hot when you go home.
Yep.
So, you stay there, get everything you want done, then go home and take a nap. Take a shower and take a nap. Like I said, when I first go over there, this is where I want to go when I retire and finally move out of the country. But there again, Will I be able to take it? I don't know. Nobody's going to know until you go there and
Yep.
try. You go on vacation, that's different than going there and living.
Well, I've lived in places that were hot before. I'm sure I could do it.
I'm sure I could. If I had to bet, if I had to bet, I would bet I could make it.
Because the
But
Philippines got to be very similar to Florida, where I was, southern Florida.
well, I've been to the Philippines during the rainy part. It was hot and it rained a lot sometimes, but I was there. Got there in what was it? September? No, got there in July. Got back in September. I was there for 2 weeks left. Came back in September. Turned 21, which was in September, and was there till November.
So you got the better part of the wet months then.
And then we went to Taiwan.
We lost your picture, Leonard.
Oh, I shut it off there for a second.
He's doing something he doesn't want us to see.
Yeah.
But anyway, then I went to Taiwan, and then we ended up in Japan. We weren't even supposed to go to Japan, but we ended up having to go because somebody, and I'm going to do the quotes, air quotes, somebody broke down in the Philippines. A bunch of us, they probably sabotaged their boat, their ship. So they wouldn't have to go to Japan. They didn't want to leave the Philippines, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to leave either. But so we had to leave, and I spent Christmas and New Year's in Yokosuka, Japan on both my trips overseas. And I wasn't even supposed to go, I don't think, at all. If I was, it was supposed to be like in January, a month later than when I went. And we found out the day that we left, we were leaving. All right. That's when we found out. Now we heard there was rumors. The girls, let me tell you, in the bars, the girls know the rumors. Let me know you. They tell you something's going to happen. You might as well just take it to the bank. So I was out that night, and the girl I was seeing said, "Hey, stay tonight. No, I don't have. I need to go back to ship tonight. I'll be back tomorrow." Oh no, stay. And insisting we weren't going to be around. It's like, no one told us we were leaving. We're supposed to be here another couple of weeks or a month. So I wasn't worried about it. And the next morning they said, we're pulling out. Nobody's going off the ship. Couldn't leave the ship. And while they were doing some things, and then we beat boogie to Japan.
Yep.
It's like, man, that stunk. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Japan, but I enjoyed Taiwan. The Philippines much better. Couple of reasons. With the Philippines, people are a lot friendlier.
Yeah,
the cost was a lot better.
Not always friendly.
And the weather was nicer. Even when it was rainy, it was nicer. You take Taiwan, well, the weather was nicer. The girls were pretty. It was cheaper than Japan, not as cheap as the Philippines, and they weren't quite as nice as the people in the Philippines. And then you go to Japan, and it's like cold. It's winter. They actually have winter. It snows in Japan. Okay,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm there during the winter, so which. And I've already told you, which would you prefer, the winter or the summer or the fall? I prefer the warm weather.
Yep.
So I would have loved to gone to Japan in the spring, just to see it in the spring when the cherry blossoms are in bloom. But every time I went to Japan, it was November, December, January, February.
They knew how to take care of you, didn't they?
Oh yeah. Well, my first trip over.
Japan's bad. Be glad you weren't in Korea. The winter in Korea is brutal.
Let me tell you, it's not much better in Japan.
Yeah.
And it depends on where you're at. But it's like I said, my first trip over, we left the States, stopped in Hawaii, and then we beat Feet Boogie to the Philippines. I mean, not Philippines, Japan. Now, we went through the Straits of Japan, and we had 30-foot swells.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Loads of fun. Loads of fun. You go to bed, you lay on your stomach, and you spread out like this, and you just go like this with the bed. Unless you had to work, you stayed in bed the whole day. Unless you had to go to the bathroom or something like that. Well, because it would toss 30-foot swells. Believe me, it tosses you around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
being
your
how
head
big-
on the stuff
all over
walking.
the place,
and how
and-
big a ship were you on?
I was on a large ship. I was on a ship about the size of a cruiser, not a cruiser. Listen to me, an ocean cruiser, a passenger cruiser,
Okay.
passenger ship. I was on a tender on that,
Okay.
and the Dixie.
You get tired just trying to walk on all that movement.
Oh yeah, and you
Yeah.
did not go out on deck unless you had to.
Right.
Then you had to have a lifeline tied to the railings and stuff.
Yep.
Now I never went out on the deck and that kind of stuff because I had no reason to be out there. My job was on the O1 level, which is the first level below the main deck, which is the main deck is the first level outside. So my job was inside the ship all the time.
Yeah.
And but there was people that had to go the one level, the main deck, and above to do their jobs. So there was people that had. Now sometimes you had to go out. Sometimes you could get to your job on the inside.
I can't imagine what 30-foot waves are like. I mean, I've been
they're-
out on a 40-foot boat in 12-foot seas, and that was more than enough. Let me tell you,
let me tell you something. On a 40-foot boat and 12-foot seas,
it's probably similar.
It's very similar to what I was in.
Yeah, probably so.
Very similar. My ship was a whole lot bigger, but those waves were a whole lot bigger.
Oh, yeah. A 40-foot boat and 12-foot seas is lifting 12 foot end to end.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
Yep.
And one end is always out of the water.
Yep.
And what I tell all the friends that I've had that took an ocean cruise, passenger cruise ship, I always say get midship.
Oh yeah,
Get midship.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the reason for that is, and for those that don't
you'll
understand what I'm
cross
saying,
and turn less.
the midship is what they call the middle of the ship.
Yep.
That's
Right.
midship.
Right.
Now, the reason why you want midship, if you get in these rough waters, the smoothest ride is midship.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, my barracks, where I slept at was not midship. All right. No, I was more towards the front of the ship. Now,
That would be pretty active.
Did you have a bunk net to keep you from like rolling out of your bunk?
no, like I said, you spread your arms. I'm not lying. You spread your arms and your legs out,
Yeah.
and you stayed in by balancing yourself in bed. Now,
Wow.
you did have some chains that you would roll into if it rolled you too much, but no, there was no net to catch you. But
Wow.
yeah, that was loads of fun. We had one of the portholes got busted open by one of the swells, and we had waves come in. We had to dog it back down. And we had one guy that I worked with had just walked away from the lockers when the lockers fell over from the rocket of the ship.
Oh wow.
So he just got lucky enough where I doubt if it would have killed him, but it would have really hurt.
Yeah.
And it could have.
Oh,
I mean, depending on how that hit him and what it did.
Oh.
But we after it all quit and calmed down, we had to bail out the compartment. That's what you call your sleeping area, your barracks area, is the compartment. And we were towards the forecastle, not the fantail. We were towards the front of the ship. But either one, if you're at either end, it's a much rougher ride than the middle of the ship. The midship is the smoothest ride because it's almost always in the water. Okay? The other two ends will come out and then slap back down. The midship is almost always in the water, so it's a smoother ride. Now, when the weather wasn't rough, some of the best sleep I ever had was out to sea, even towards the forecastle. Now, sometimes I would sleep in the laundry because it was midship, and I would take a nap a lot of times there. And if the air condition went down and it was hot, well, the laundry had excellent air handling system, and so it'd be comfortable. So a lot of us guys would go down there and sleep if the air went out, like the air conditioner, because you had an actual air conditioner in a lot of the compartments. And matter of fact, on my second ship, the Long Beach, which is a nuclear cruiser, I was part of the far party team on every one of the ships. But we were having a fire drill. It was just supposed to be a drill, and I can't remember which compartment it was in, but it was one of the compartments. Now, I was the plotter. I was up in the control room, and I would plot out what was going on and keep track of it and write it down so an action report could be written afterwards by the command, the fire team command. I would write down so-and-so, they entered it this time, found this problem. This is how long it took to put it out, stuff like that. And it was going to be a drill. And they go into the compartment. And just as they go into the compartment, the air conditioner started smoking.
Oh.
So we went to a drill to a fire. It was electrical fire, so they had to turn the electrical power off to the, And so I had to plot all this, write it down. And now I've also been part of the fire team where you went out and put it out. But at this time, this was my job on this one. And so we had the fire out in no time at all before it could do any real damage, because it just so happened we got lucky. That was the compartment we were having the drill in. So they have all the hoses. It's just nothing's charged. They're going in acting like they're doing it. You don't actually charge it up and set the water off, because then you're cleaning up a mess that you didn't need to clean up. But you go in and act like you're going to do it. So they got everything there, and all of a sudden, whoa, we got an electrical fire in the air conditioner. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. And so we went to that. But yeah, I was on the far team on every ship and base I was on. Unless I was TAD. I was in TAD a couple bases. So those I weren't on their far team. But on ship, everybody had, even in the Navy, when I went in back in this 72, and probably before that, in the early 70s, late 60s, everybody that went in the Navy had to know how to fight a fire. You had to learn in boot camp how to put out a fire. Everybody. I don't care what your job was going to be after you got out. You had to know how to put out a fire. And the reason for this was Vietnam on the Forrestal aircraft carrier. I want to say it was on landing, but it could have been takeoff. And all takeoff and landings are filmed, okay? And a bomb wasn't secured properly or did not drop when it was supposed to drop. When the guy landed, it dropped off the plane, or it dropped off, like I said, before takeoff because it wasn't secured properly. But I can't remember which. But anyway, the bomb drops, explodes. All right? Starts a fire. The first fire party team, then they had two fire party teams. Now, starts putting out the fire. Everything's going well. Another, because the bomb went off, got to other bomb, caused a secondary explosion, killed or wounded the whole fire team.
Wow.
So the backup fire team's called out, right? So they go out there, starting to put the fire out, and another explosion happens, and all this is on film. And it kills every one of them, or wounds every one of them, so they can't fight it. Now, the two teams that have been trained how to do this are either dead or severely wounded. So now you got a bunch of sailors going out there trying to put the fire out, not everybody knowing what they're doing. They got
There's definite skill needed.
They got the fuel, the airplane fuel, the jet fuel burning. So one group goes out there with the foam, puts the fire out. Another group comes out. Oh, the fire's out, so they're washing the foam off the deck. Guess what happens? The jet fuel
It went back up.
catches fire.
Yep.
It took over 3 days to put that fire out.
Oh man.
All right.
Wow.
And you can see this if you want. It's on YouTube. It's called Learn or Burn. All right. That's the name of it. Learn or Burn. I think there's a short version and a long version. But that film, that is shown to every sailor. And I've seen that film more times than I can count. Because every time you changed ship, shore duty, just go to shore duty, every time you went somewhere, you had to watch that movie. And a lot of times, even on that movie, you had to watch, on the same ship, you watched it more than once. Now, as they progressed through the training and learning of what was going on, because like I said, it wasn't too long before I got in, they decided, and this was done after I was in, this part was when you first got on a ship, before you could do anything else, they had to take you around and you had to learn where all the fire equipment was. My first ship, I didn't have to do that. All right. I had to watch that movie. I had to, boot camp, I had to go through the training, had to actually go in and as a group and put out a fire a couple times, went through all that training. But as far as when I got on the ship, I wasn't taken around and shown where all the fire equipment was. Because on the larger ships, you got equipment all over the place and you need to know where it's at. So if a fire breaks out, you know where to run to get what you need. In other words, where is the closest place to get what you need?
I worked at a hospital. They made us put fires out.
Yeah. But anyway.
They lit up an oil fire on like a...
I've done that too since I've been out. But I mean... But I've done that as well.
I worked at different places where, I worked at different places where I was on the fire brigade and had training how to use fire extinguishers properly and where everything
the pass system
and how to put up
the pass system.
Yeah.
Point, aim, squeeze, sweep.
Yep.
When I was in Delaware City, I was driving by the oil refinery that they had there the one day, and one of the crack towers exploded.
Tim says, I'm sorry, guys, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the chat here, but Tim says the Philippines is like Florida on steroids for the weather. And he says he's been to the Korea, and it does get cold.
Yeah. I could imagine the Philippines being like Florida on steroids.
And Dodger, if you're still around, I'm sorry. Take care. I hope I was able to tell you that before you left. I see that you said we made you hungry for rice, so take care, everybody.
Yep.
But
I could go for some good fried rice. Oh God,
I like pork fried rice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it with
I used to
everything.
eat a lot of shrimp fried rice.
Well, I used to buy pork fried rice, and I would take that pork fried rice and I'd cook something else, and I'd take that little thing of pork fried rice, and I would split it, and I get 2 meals out of it because I cooked something else to go with it. And I used to do that almost at least every other week, if not every week.
Yeah.
And I would cook up maybe some chicken or some pork or beef or something to add to it.
Yeah.
And
I got a pack of ground meat that I ground last week, and I guess I cooked.
well, like I said, I don't know how healthy this is. Tim can maybe tell me. I know this would be the worst part of it. Is I'm going to cook up some spam.
Oof.
I'm going to cut it up and I'll fry some spam with some eggs, and then I'll have some vegetables with it, maybe some peppers and onions, and I'll get a couple meals out of that. But I don't know if I'll do it with the whole can, or if I'll just do up a half a can that way, and then take the other half and maybe have it with something else.
I'll probably have pork egg foo young for breakfast.
But I'm going to do that this week on one of my days off.
I'll dice up the roast pork and do some scrambled eggs and a little smearing of gravy over it.
Well, like I said, I'll cook eggs and mixed vegetables, and I got this slicer, and maybe I'll do a short on it that will cut the can of Spam into even slices,
Oh, I've seen that.
which you can fry. All right, but if you turn it, then it'll cut it into a little thinner strips. Then if you lay that flat, you can cut it into cubes. I like to cut it into cubes when I'm going to fix it with the eggs and the mixed vegetables.
I got knife skills. I could fly through that and nothing. And my dice is all the same size.
Mine aren't, so I bought this,
I
and it's not that
do pretty good
expensive.
with
I got it through Amazon for like $9, maybe.
I'm really fast with a knife.
I'm not. I'm a decent cook, but I'm no good with a knife.
I got
I've
I
got
got-
pretty good knife skills.
I
was
got
trained by a
Dexter
meat cutter.
knives. Yeah, I got Dexter knives, which are professional. I got a Cymene steak knife. I got these Dexter French knives. I got a Sudoku. I got a nice
Hey
collection
guys,
of
I'm
knives.
going to have to start calling this one. It's going on
Yeah.
11:30, and I have to get up at about 5:30 in the morning. So,
God bless you, Larry.
but it's been
Leonard,
fun,
you have a
Thank
good
Thanks
evening.
so much, Larry.
and I'm glad you guys came up. I don't think there's too many people left, so let's go ahead and bounce out of here.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody that's still in the chat for coming, and I hope you see you next week. It'll probably just be another, who knows what topic. I may just say let's talk, but because that's basically what we do anyway.
Yeah.
So
Works out.
anyway, everyone who's still here, thank you
Yep.
for coming. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, if you would, please do. I want to tell you all to remember to be nice to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, as I always say, try to have fun, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end
All right. Bye,
Have a good night,
everybody.
guys.
this one. Take care. Love you guys. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.